Hey!
And here he is, direct from some sort of dark dimension.
Come on.
Pumpkin guy.
Sunday! Hey! What's up? How's it going? Sunday! What's up? Hey! I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's
Greetings, PG and Jean. We are here and ready for things to possibly happen, but would prefer nothing.
No, then you're in luck.
Happy, Jim coffee sip, Jim clap.
What's up? Hey, Phoenix Monroe, thank you. What's up? I don't know. I'm tired. No, I was up till like 2 in the morning, man. Dude, it was crazy. What's up? How's it going? Wad Keone, what's up? How's it going? Lost Pixie, Charlie Demons, what's up? Eagles, Tenebris, what's up? Phoenix Bro, Celida, what's up? How's it going? Hope you doing well. Zatora, what's up? How's it going? Irish Armstrong, Steampunk Shake out of my neck punch. What's up? Wolf Nick Wolf, Core, High Beam, what's up? High Beam. What's up? Oh, that computer just kicked on for some reason. Ooh. It's huffing now. It's like, I heard it. Settle down, bro. Nothing's happening. No, that's interesting. No, we're trying to, we're basically doubling our frame rate right now. Go.
Hey, PG. Happy Sunday. Parents visit last week after stream went perfect, and today's a lazy day. Hope your week went well too.
Nice. Good job. Yes. Everything's going perfect. We'll see. I don't know. Why is the computer huffing like that?
It's a raid. Destroy them all with
DJC, what's up?
And
How's it going? Thank you for the raid. Throwing candy at you people. What's up? Okay, I think it's settling down now. No, it's freaking out, man. Things just like, dude, you ever have your computer just like the fan kicks on at like stupid kind of like, ah! You know? Like it's getting ready to do something and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? It was enough to get me to notice it where I'm like, bro, you okay? All right, we'll see. Yeah. Let's see. Did you hear that the M&M spokesperson thing was a pre-Super Bowl PR stunt? Well, good. That's because I'm not going to buy M&Ms anymore because I don't like being toyed with by a candy company. M&Ms can go die. You're welcome. Dude, the chocolate in there is awful to my taste anyway. Fans engage turbo mode. No. Good day, everybody. DJC, what's up? Thank you again. Begley must be looking for things. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, you want me to get a thing on there? Let me do a thing. Oh, God, that better be charged. 1 second. I will need a moment. Oh, bro, where is it? Bro. There it is. Got it.
10 moons, yay. Good morning, pumpkin guy.
Look. Thank you. Give me a second. Yeah, that should probably work. All right. No, dude, I'm using a laptop for this, bro. So I doubled up the fans. I have external little fans that I will point at the laptop if it starts getting a little bit too warm. I'm just like, just in case. What's up, Evie? What's up? How's it going? Die-Fit, hi. What's up? Sora, hello. Skittles or die. No, but dude, that's stupid. Oh, or do you think they were just like saying that to cover their butts? Like, no, man, it was a PR stunt.
Greetings, salutations, and good vibes to all. I made it. Work didn't try to draft me this weekend, so yay.
Nice. I like that. I like when that doesn't happen. Oh, dude, man. It's mandatory overtime. Shut up. No. Ordered some Irish cream cold brew and some pastries and I'm ready to relax. My favorite pumpkin stream. Hey, Brandon. Awesome. There you go. We got some cold brew just sitting in the wings right there. Can't wait for Wave 3 Xeno content and then you won't get to see me forever. However long Tears of the Kingdom takes to 100%. Yeah, that's going to take for a while. That's going to take a while, won't it? It's so bad that M&Ms offend people with... dude, I don't know. I don't even know what they were going for. You know, it's the thing. It's like when a company like that makes M&Ms, whoever they are, was it Mars or something? I don't even know. Okay, M&Ms. If you're going to try to use, I guess what would be considered controversial stuff to make your brand awareness, it could backfire. Like in this case, I have no problem never buying M&Ms for the entirety of my existence. Okay? And I have no problem, and if anybody knows me, I am very particular and focused. Well, I'm like a dog with a lockjaw that just latches onto something, and I will ride it to death for the rest of my life. I will recommend that people not buy M&Ms. Like flat out, dude. Dude, I am not here to be, I guess what, commercially manipulated for your benefit. Screw your M&Ms, every single color of the M&Ms, and the garbage chocolate that I find to be a deplorable excuse for a treat with inside those candies. Okay? Done with them.
Sounds great. Glad I missed whatever you were referring to.
Hey! Yep. M&Ms. They're toying with their customers, man. Allegedly. Dude, it's just a PR stunt. Get a sense of humor. Well, you get a sense of humor when I don't buy your product for the entirety of my life. Hey, if somebody gives them to me, I'll eat them, but I ain't buying them. That's it. I'm done. 0 cents go to M&Ms now. Peanut M&Ms are all right. I don't care. I'll get Reese's Pieces instead. Probably the same company, so I don't think they're going to care. You know what? I'll make my own. I can quite literally make my own. I don't care anymore. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Something stopped. You know, it was probably doing like a virus scan in the background, or like, dude, you're trying to do 60 frames a second, so we're going to check to make sure it's not virus. Okay. That's how I picture my antivirus. Bro, this could be a virus. You know, the CPU is at like 8.9% now. This is not normal. All your software is from like the 90s. What is going on? I don't know why I picture it like that, but I feel like it's very finicky. Killing Mr. Peanut was a PR stunt. Yeah, it is that too. I don't buy Planters peanuts anymore. I get like Virginia peanuts. Yeah, they're more expensive, but you know what? They're actually peanuts. Mac and cheese. Yeah. Isn't it a little early for mac and cheese? Dude, that's like, isn't it like 10 o'clock where you are? Dude, it's like, who's having you're having mac and cheese for breakfast. You an adult. I'm not going to tell you what to do. They backfired. Go work M&M's, realized no money, but did not double down. The thing is, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid that a company would try to make controversy from a product that doesn't need to be controversial. It's candy. Make a good treat people enjoy. That's all. Why is that such a big deal? You know? Can't you be happy that everybody loves your brand throughout the world? No, we want to alienate half the population by doing a PR stunt. Go to hell. It's so stupid. It's 11, but I do need to eat something. Just make sure one hand is new minutes ago. Oh, there you go. All right. It's 11. It's never too early for mac and cheese. I feel like there would be times when it would be. Yeah. We're going to have to buy a new camera, chat, because I'm trying to push out. Why was the thing not... Yeah, I got to do things. Because I'm like, why is this huffing along when it doesn't need to be? Let me check my processes. All right, what we got in the background? Why don't you stop that right there? Yeah, let's turn you off there, huh? I know. I got a question, chat. Question. No, like doing 60 frames a second shouldn't be that taxing on this, right? Because you literally did it last night. Oh, we're doing 16:9 instead of 720. Huh. Yeah, but there's no downsampling, so what's the problem? Oh, whatever. Let's see. Surgery's coming up. Yay, there you go. Nice. Leftover homemade mac and cheese for breakfast. Yeah. Gummy worms instead. I don't care for M&Ms, but I know I will still snack on them when at my parents' place. Yeah, that's fine. Get a cardiologist to push McDonald's or any fast food. What? Why would you do that? I would love a cardiologist to just be like, yeah, you know what I recommend? 3 Big Macs a day. You know, you do that, you'll be fine. Wait, what? Doctor's orders. February 7th, it's going to be nothing but gums. Yeah, I know, but then you're going to have, like, metal teeth like that. Who's the one that had the metal teeth? Who's the metal teeth person? The 007 villain. Got it. What, Iron Jaw something? I don't know. Bacon and eggs, that mac and cheese. Oh, that's right. You can put bacon and eggs on the mac and cheese. Oh, man. Double down on that cholesterol. Yeah. Jaws. It was just Jaws? Literally, they just called them Jaws. I thought it was like Steelface or something. Oh, God. Like when Sesame Street went to Veggie Monster over Cookie Monster, their rates plummeted. Like, I don't... Oh, God. It's so weird when what companies do that, but, you know, whatever. Hey, speaking of companies doing weird things that you're probably not going to like, remember when Disney heavily invested in Doctor Who through, you know, the English Broadcasting Company? Yeah. Apparently there's going to be multiple spin-offs coming off this Doctor Who kind of Disney funding thing. So, yeah, if the Doctor Who market wasn't saturated enough, spin-offs. The beginning of the end. It was fine for like 60 years, and then all of a sudden Disney gets their hands on it. Yeah.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast with sriracha.
I don't like sriracha. I don't like it. I do like bacon, egg, and cheese on toast. I like bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. On a roll. There we go. What do you call it? Damn it, Disney. Exactly.
We've already had spin-offs like Torchwood. Disney can take a hike on that front.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They're just going to be hiking their Disney Plus rates when that comes out. No, even a showrunner, what's his face? I forget the name. He was just like, yeah, we're going to be doing spin-offs with Disney. Oh, God. Oh, God, no. I mean, I guess if you're into that universe, yay. But, I don't know. Between Star Wars, Marvel, everything, and I don't want Doctor Who to become a Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's Doctor Who, you know? What are we going to have? Like a little mini-series about the Master, you know, and just how the Daleks were made and blah, blah, blah. And what's his name? The head in the chair guy. Bum, 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 bum. I only care for David Tennant. That's it. That's it, David Tennant. Looks like Disney ruined Doctor Who. Also, how's it going? Haven't been around for a while. What's up, Third Sea? How's it going? I know. We'll see what Disney does, but Disney do what Disney do, so when Disney does what they do, I don't know if it's going to be good for Doctor Who. That was very Seussical of me. Let's see. Disney is becoming the new AT&T. Well, AT&T is basically out of business, isn't it? Let it be known I won aluminum in the... What? Okay. Make your own burgers. It's cheaper and healthier for you anyways. Yeah, but it's work. Let's see. Looks like I've got that bacon cheeseburger, something pepper. It was the most common breakfast when my workspace was Times Square. Ooh, Times Square. Fancy. Tennant is apparently only coming back for the 60th anniversary special. After that, I'm probably not going to be watching the show. Yeah, I haven't watched so many of the last few seasons. I saw bits and pieces. I generally don't care anymore. Yeah. No, I've kind of... Doctor Who has run its course in my life unless it gets really good, you know? But even then, I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. Technically, Doctor Who is through UK Comics and Universal with Transformers and J.i. Joe and parallel reality to Star Trek. Oh, God. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a Star Trek Doctor Who crossover with Transformers. Yeah. Odd question. What's the price of eggs near you? They're so pricey now. Oh, God. We got like, what? Dude, a carton of 12 was like $6. Though a carton of 18 was about $13. I don't know. Yeah. So it depends on the brand, but we went for the cheapest ones that were available. What about Sandman? What about Sandman? Davros. He was cool. Dude, again, that was one of the best things in the exchange between Doctor Who, Tom Baker's Doctor Who, and Davros when they were talking about the virus. And he's just like, yeah, I would release that. Dude, it was so sinister. It was amazing. There's a Star Trek Transformers crossover comic, actually. Yep. Yeah. It is what it is. $8.62 for 18. Wow. Dude, that's cheaper than it is here. Dude, it was literally $13. And I'm like, I'm not paying $13 for eggs. You know, I'm telling you, just egging somebody's house is getting a lot pricier than it used to be. What about Hannibal? What about him? Might be able to get into it if it were a Netflix series. What's the Netflix series that? No, that was Amazon. Because whoever got a hold of the Tomb Raider rights, basically they're making another movie, and then Amazon is going to try to make a series. The approach that I heard was they're taking a multimedia approach to Tomb Raider. So expect another game with a movie tie-in and a whole series nobody really needs to see. Dude, the stories aren't that interesting. They really aren't. It ain't no, you know, Uncharted / Indiana Jones. I'd rather they make a series of Uncharted, frankly. Fourth Doctor was best Doctor. I finally watched the original. Oh, man, really good, but I felt bad for the fish. I felt bad for the fish, man. Not the fish. Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, forget the guy that got, like, impaled by stuff, you know. Damn fish. Why not? It's actually a thing, though. What's going on? Love the Doctor Who. What Davies and Moffat were working together to write the stories. When Davies left, Moffat lack of skill with character and long story arcs grated on my nerves to the point where I stopped watching after Doctor 11. Yeah, who's still, is Moffat still there, or is the Davies guy coming back? Davies? My parents are rolling in the urns. Okay. Is Harrison Ford going to retire after Indiana Jones 5? I think so. I think that's the last Indiana Jones they're going to do. But apparently he's got an upcoming role in like a Marvel movie. So I'm just like, what, in the Thunderbolts or whatever it's called? I'm like, oh, God. I think he's just going to retire from Indiana Jones. But he's doing another series. He's doing a series. He's going to be in a couple of other movies. That dude is all over the place, man. Until Indiana Jones and the paycheck of enticement gets made. Bum, 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 bum. I remember when there was a pitch from comic book creators that almost made a DC comic Star Wars crossover. I don't know if you would need that to happen. Harrison Ford is still fit as hell. Yeah, that bro can, like, bike 23 miles. I think he does bike, like, 20 miles a day. Like, that's insane to me. I couldn't even do that now, let alone at their age. I feel like he's like Superman, you know? It's crazy. I think Davies is coming back, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I heard blurbles about it. That's all I got. I call them blurbles. Is Shia LaBeouf going to replace Harrison Ford? No, he's not going to even be in the next movie from what I've heard. But, I mean, I don't even know that for sure. What? Did anybody see Dead Space? Anybody play Dead Space? Shia went off the deep end. He's unemployable. Dude, if Ezra Miller can still work, the Shia LaBeouf guy can definitely get a job. Okay? Bro, there is no way he's unemployable. That guy can walk into a casting thing with chopstick up his nose and just smashing his face against a wall, and I would probably hire them over Ezra Miller. I mean, like, flat out, dude. Come on. Yeah, the shy guy, whatever, shy guy. Yeah, that's what I call him. That dude, he just got like really artsy and esoteric and just. I think he got more artsy than anything. He didn't commit any crimes. He wasn't doing anything nefarious. He was just a little too heady for everybody. I think at a certain point where he's like being super artistic and he was just like, you know, or whatever he was doing. I mean, I don't know all about the ins and outs of his quote-unquote controversy around him. But, yeah. Should do a sequel to the Battle of the Shaker Heights. What? Why? Bam, bam. Actually, where's a cooler pitch where it's Justice League teaming up with the Autobots for Transformers, but DC killed the idea to relaunch the New 52. Boo! What I was trying to say is my parents are living in the state of Doctor Who right now. They were diehard fans. Oh, all right. There you go. I don't think your parents got invested in anything where they're just like, oh. He's also fairly violent and confrontational, apparently. Define violent. All right. Go.
Allegedly, MCU's Thunderbolts will serve as Black Widow's official sequel.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be a thing. Dude, the Black Widow movie was barely watchable. Thank you. No, and the concept of confrontational, bro, the tolerance for the idea of being confronted is so low now. If somebody, if you ask, dude, did you use the last of the half and half? Why you gotta confront me like that? People were so oversensitive, so I'm just dismissing the confrontational thing. Yeah. Like, why you gotta come at me like that, bro? Why you gotta call me out like that? Because you used the last of the cream. There's two people in this household, me and you. I did not do it. You must have. I'm just trying to confirm my suspicions, okay? Did you I can't take it. Why are you so confrontational and violent? Meanwhile, they're the ones flailing their arms and throwing themselves out the window because they drank the rest of the half and half or whatever. Go.
You know I'm the cream of the crop, said some wrestler.
Okay. Shy talked crap about Indiana Jones movie. It was in before it came out, and that's a big no-no in the industry. Dude got blacklisted. Really? I can't imagine that. Like, yeah, I know you don't want to do that because it hurts. I don't think it hurts sales, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, you're supposed to wait for it to come out. It's been buried by the country, but if I recall correctly, the last straw with Johnny Depp in the last Harry Potter was for striking a crew member, so I suspect it was more of studio labor unions that got him bleep there. Maybe. I don't know. Go.
Good morning, afternoon, PG and chat.
Yes, all of the time zones. What's up? How's it going? I don't like the computer huffing and puffing like that. It's like out of breath. Need some cardio.
If Disney ends up making an Even Stevens reboot, I wonder if they'll still cast Shia LaBeouf despite his criminal records.
I don't know. What's with the criminal record?
Slim Jim okay and done. Happy Sunday, PG.
Hey, there you go. Come on. Thank you. What? Here we go. What's up?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What's going on?
I'm just saying hi.
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 Yeah. Okay, get your weird hand away from me. What's going on?
I'm tinky. I was walking.
Yeah, oh, so you did exercise and you came in here to funk up the room.
Yeah.
And then just waft away.
Yeah.
And let me sit in it.
I'd share Eau de Dawn. It's lovely. All right. Have a good stream.
I don't think I can now. I don't even have a nose and this is hurting. Oh, God. Bathe. No, we got a treadmill. We're trying to be, healthy, but with health comes sweat. And odors. Oh, God. She's gone. Ugh. I gotta get some coffee.
Allegedly, Robert Downey Jr. as a Jedi Master for Jon Favreau's upcoming Star Wars movie. If true, I wonder how much money are they paying him?
I don't know. I would kind of want him to be snarky, but I don't know. Dude, after dealing with him as Tony Stark and all that stuff, I love the snarkiness of the character. And, him being like this very stoic kind of, Jedi Master. I don't know if that's going to be fun for me. I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it anyway, but, when it hits streaming services. We'll see. That'll be kind of interesting. All right. I'd be for it, Get them all in there. Boom, boom, boom. Otto, thank you. Let's see. Max Meyer, what's up? This is poking. No, don't, no. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Shovel snow will get you fit. We get another jumping out today. No! I think you have to be fit first to shovel snow. That's that's like what? One of those things that'll give you a heart attack if you're not in shape for it. You know, the cold air constricts all your blood vessels, plus you're trying to work out. It messes up life. Go. Thanks for the follow. What's up? If you look at Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, he matches Comic Tony. Yeah, definitely. Definitely gonna have to take down the quality of this. This is getting annoying. I'm either gonna have to get rid of the 60 frames a second or drop it to 720 because this thing's huffing along. Not happy about it. We'll deal with it today, but yeah. I hate finding that sweet spot, man. It's getting annoying, bro. It's getting annoying, bro. Ugh. Let's see. Dual leaf blower, the snow. Only if it's leaf blowable, you know? Drop to 720. Yeah, you think that would be better? Well, I can't do that right now. Can I? No, I'd have to take down a stream. I'm not going to do it. So, no, actually, you got. Here's the thing. You guys watch this. So, based on what's happening now, right? I could do 16 by 900 at 30 frames.
It's coffee time. It's time to get some caffeine in your system. You might have had too much, but nobody listened, so you buzzed.
Or 1280 by 720 at 60. So it's kind of up to you. Do you want better frame rate or more slightly larger resolution? Thank you. No, because I don't want to buy another webcam if I don't need it, you know? Because if I don't need to push out 60 frames, it doesn't matter. 720 at 60 would be better. I'll call it a snowblower for that. Oh, a snowblower. Yeah, we got one of those machines that pushes things and spits out snow. It's electrical, because I ain't dealing with gas. I hate it. Nah, man, because I always spill it all over myself, and then I end up like a monk in the street. It's terrible. Let's see. Yeah, like that emote there. I'm burning. I know. I would like a smoother frame rate. I'm just saying. I want smoother frame rate. Okay. I know, I'm being a whiner. Whatever. Oh. So you want 720 at 60. All right, we'll do that then. Yeah, because apparently it just makes it's less taxing on this computer. I mean, I could just get another large supercomputer again, but, you know, no. I'm not doing that, man. Dude, come on. I already got enough stuff floating around here. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Get the emotional damage guys set up. Emotional damage guys. What? Emotional damage? Why? Oh, speaking of damage, yo, they canceled Damage Patrol or whatever? Damage whatever? Dude, is that done? The Brendan Fraser thing? They got rid of that. They basically canceled, like, what, 2 more DC series? What was it? Was it Titans? Like Teen Titans? And then the Doom thing. Doom Patrol. Yeah, so they canceled that? I was like, dude, people like that. Yo, give Brendan Fraser a break, man. He's showing up at screenings for The Mummy just to hang out with fans. I'm like, get him back in a series. Oh, man, people like that show. And everyone's, of course, is getting on James Gunn. No matter what it is that happens in the DC universe, everyone just tweets James Gunn. I hate you. I can't believe you. You know, I hate the code. Breathing in that code hurts my nose. It should hurt your lungs more than your nose. What's wrong with your nose? Nobody knows. Let's see. I love that show. Yeah. Quantum computers will be in the bargain bin next year so you can pick up a deal. Yep. Go.
And so the Doom Patrol continues to remain a brief 2-episode cameo in the Good Teen Titans show.
That's it. It's all over. James Gunn. Yeah. Says Love was responsible for many of the decisions, not Gunn. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But everyone blames Gunn because, you know, they're the figurehead. So even if the decisions were made before he got in there, they're just like, it's your fault, man. It's your fault. You're destroying the DC universe. Yeah. So that's gone. But I kind of wish industry, like, you know, Netflix, et cetera, Amazon, and all these other places could just develop a show, right? And keep it running for a couple of seasons, you know, as opposed to just cutting it. But then they keep other shows running forever. Like, dude, The Walking Dead, how many seasons was that? With multiple spin-offs, and then there's going to be 2 more spin-offs? Dude, are we not done with, you know, flipping Walking Dead? Oh, new Last of Us tonight. Hey, let's get another season. Hey. It looks good. You know, we saw the first 2 episodes. So far, so good. I'm glad it's getting renewed. So, you know, at some point it's gonna probably have that Game of Thrones thing where at some point it's gonna go past the story in the games, and it's gonna be like, all right, now we're just gonna make up our own stories, and then it's gonna devolve into crap. You know, unless they actually stop it when they should. You know. The amount of effort that goes into these movies, and someone else goes to see the movie, see how that goes. Go.
The Walking never ends. The spin-offs have a spin-offs.
Yeah, spin-offs for spin-offs and spin-offs. They announced season 5 for Agresto. Oh, there you go. The amount of effort that goes into these movies, then someone else go make the movies. Oh, the people who complain about it? Yeah. That's the thing. It's like for all the effort that's put in there, like hypothetically, Black Adam. A lot of effort went into the movie, but not the script, and it showed. You know? I mean, dude, even Dwayne Johnson, he was like, I feel like he was all in it, and he really wanted it to succeed, but it just did not. You know, it didn't work. And they're not really doing a lot of marketing for the Shazam movie that's coming out. They're just like, yeah, here's another trailer, you know, because it's kind of wrapping up that whatever debacle the last few DC Universe movies things were. It's kind of just like, yeah, here it is, and just probably another Aquaman, and yeah, all right, there you go, enjoy these. Good. Yeah. It's like they're already invested, so they're like, all right, let's not do the $20 million or $100 million promotion budget for a film that's not going to end up going anywhere, and that just hurts everybody who worked on it. What's up, Practice? Thank you, 41 moods. Thank you, I appreciate. Yes, thank you, I appreciate. Thank you. Yes, nice. Hey, guess what, Pumpkin Guy? The Riverwalk 2 be adapted from Part 2 game. Hey, there you go. But then what are they going to do for Season 3? They're going to have to make up their own stories. No. What, didn't the game devs say they would only do a Part 3 if they can come up with a compelling story? Thank you. I wish all game devs did that. You imagine game devs not making a game unless they had a compelling story? There'd be like 7 games on the market. God. No, dude, Dead Space. No, Steve talked about this, but I wanted to cover it. Bro, they have warnings. You can enable warnings, like if you're sensitive to violence, gore, self-harm, and all that other stuff. There's a little warning. They'll pop up on the sign and be like, bro, dude, something bad's going to happen. And I'm like, what? That's like an actual thing in the game. And they have multiple layers of this, where you can like blur out the violence in the game. And, you know, my initial reaction is like, well, why'd you buy this game? You know? Exactly, Brian. Then why play the game? What are you doing? You know, it's an interesting, I guess, accessibility option, but...
Just heard Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper are touring together this year. Hope they come close to me.
We shall see. Dude, I want them both on stage at the same time doing Keeping Halloween Alive. Dude. Keeping Halloween alive, baby, 3 sticks, family, keep it going. Dude, that was really good. The guy, the guitarist, John 5, I think actually worked on that. Or maybe it's somebody else. I don't know. It's a good song. Love that song. Brutal Legend has that kind of filter. They have a filter on that? I never look at the filters because I am so unconcerned about gratuitous violence in a fictional game of just polygons and pixels. Oh, God. I never get grossed out, winced, or cringe when it comes to stuff like that just because I'm like, it's fake, you know? It's fake, bro. Yeah. I could see the spider one for Evil West, but Dead Space. Yeah, they did a spider thing where they, for Grounded as well. Because there's a lot of people who have, you know, arachnophobia, so they changed basically the appearance of the spider so it's not as scary. But then I'm like, how come this doesn't apply to every other insect? Like, people were afraid of bees, you know, and centipedes and little things like that. Steve had a good bit. He's like, and children. What about people who just don't like looking at children? I need a filter for that. You know, make them look like Minecraft characters. Not the bees. Yeah. They both gonna have her attack the old. Yeah. No, but it was just kind of weird that like, and also when the main character dies, it'll completely skip that cutscene. It'll be like, Meh. What do you just get the Dark Souls you died screen? Go.
You do it for parents who allow their kids to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was thinking. Go.
I can attest to that. I used to be utterly phobic of flying stingers. If I hadn't done my self-therapy before this game came out, the bee section would have terrified me.
See? There you go. There are certain games Dawn does not like playing because of the bees. She doesn't like the sounds. It kind of freaks her out and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know. It's odd what they make filters for, or, you know, options for. And I would say, bro, like, if I was a parent, right, and my kid's like, I want to play Dead Space. What? No, dude, do you realize how violent this is? Let's see if you can get through Nightmare on Elm Street first. Then we'll see if you want to play it. What's Nightmare on Elm Street? All right, here's the thing. When you go to sleep, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. What? That's a good litmus test for any small kid who's like, I want to play this horror game or watch this horror movie. All right. Let's start you with this right out the gate. Now, keep in mind, you can get you in your sleep. You know, if you fall asleep, he's there. What do you mean? Change the question. I've been playing the Dead Space remake, and it's very good. They added quality of life improvements and features from the sequel, and the new textures are amazing. I did see the new textures. They do look amazing. The lighting is amazing. Definitely check it out if you have the time. Yeah, I'll let Dawn check it out and watch the VOD. Dude, I don't have the time for nothing. I got the time for nothing. Having nightmares about closest family members a million times worse. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Not the bees. What about people who are afraid about ceramic dolls? Is that a thing? Are people afraid of ceramic dolls? I didn't know that was a thing. We found one in a thrift store, but we kind of wanted to goth it up. It's this weird looking thing, and I would like to actually do a stream where I custom make this and just put like all this. It's not an expensive thing. It was like cracked and it was glued back together, so you already know it's damaged. Is ceramic more scary than porcelain? I don't know. I figure porcelain would be scarier because you could see the fear in your own face as its reflection gets closer to you. That's me and its eye. You know, that kind of thing. Putting eyeshadow on a porcelain doll. Oh, no, I'm going to goth it up. You have no idea. Like, it looks like... I see it in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, this thing would look excellent. But it would look like one of those Japanese gothic costumes. Like the gothic Lolita fashion thing they do over there. So we'd have to do it like that. But it looks like it'd be really good. Go!
If there can be a fear of long words, hippomonstrosesquipedaliphobia, there can be fears of anything under the sun and moon.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a fear of very long words. And the fear itself is a very long word. So I find that very ironic when I talk about it. It instills a little bit of fear in me. Like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. So a Saturday special. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'd have to do it on Dawn's stream. She's got the workspace for it. I do have a fear of dolls and puppets. Mostly those are human designed. Huh. Oh, God. I hope I'm not freaking you out. What? I'm a good puppet. Let's see. Fear of dolls is cold. That can't be it, really? I figured that would be a fear for something completely different, which would be more well-founded. I think they need to change that name. Idolophobia would be better than that one. Let's see. Was going to say Dead Space Remake is good. I just think it's funny that Isaac Clarke got a makeover that makes him look like Adam Sandler. Not a deal breaker, but it's right. Really? I didn't get to see that. Oh, I wonder if since it's on PC, I wonder if anyone could do like a deep fake of an Adam Sandler voice and just have him sound that way. the whole thing, but like the man-child version. Are we in space now? Oh, no. Oh, God. That'll be hilarious. Boom, boom. Let me get coffee while I'm here. There are so many of these. Why do we just get the same ones? God. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. 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 What's up? It should be renamed Marionette Phobia. Nah, even Puppet Phobia. You know, that'd be fine. I watched Puppet Master when I was young and I loved it. Parents regret it because I wanted more. Yeah, Puppet Master. I love... Oh, you know what movie you'd probably like, which you've already seen? Made by the same people. It's just called Dolls. It's from like the mid-80s, I think. Or could have been early 90s, like 1991 or something like that. I don't know. You've probably already seen it, but it's part of that full moon picture kind of vibe. It's really good. Dolls come to life and just kind of mess people up. Nowadays, I just screw around, take pictures of dolls at thrift stores, sending them to... If I... Why would you do that? Scary. Dolls is actually on my watch list. It's actually really decent. It's got a nice story to it, and yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but go for it. Definitely. It definitely has that vibe. You're going to feel right at home if you like Puppet Master. I have the Puppet Master collection on DVD. Yes. They're doing I think they actually released a 4K version of Puppet Master. And you can see all the strings and pulleys and its shiny glory. Mom is afraid of dolls. Really? Huh. I never got that. I've seen creepy dolls, but I always have an affinity for them. Like when you see that weird one doll whose eye is like half closed and it's like porcelain and the face is a little cracked, you know? And then you go to pick it up and look at it and it has that weird kind of sound like the old dolls used to have. And you'd be like, oh God, I gotta buy this. Again, why? Talking about scary dolls. Thank you. I hated Puppet Master movies, and a friend in college made me watch them with her. The first one was good, and then the other ones got a little dicey. 2 was all right, but then they started getting to that, like, we have no budget realm, like retro Puppet Master and stuff like that. Some of them were just terrible, you know. But, dude, I've said this before, but Full Moon Pictures had this nice golden age of really good... Thanks for the follow. Really good low budget kind of horror stuff from back in the day. And then after a certain time, I think it was like mid 2000s, it was just like they look and felt really bad. You know, they were just like cheap. And I don't know, maybe it was the practical effects from ye olden times that kind of just worked better. But yeah. What? I'm just a personal opinion. What do you want from me? Goosebumps, Not a Living Dummy, makes me scared of toys. When I was a kid, I had to have my toys facing the other direction that I were inside. That was a good creepy movie, you know? Well, show, back in the day. Book. God, my words. This friend also had some of the puppets. When she told me she would put them in bed to sleep, I replied that would be what dumpster by morning. Try to party torch. Why would you do that? Krusty the Clown Dog. Hi, I'm Krusty. What? And I don't like you. Dude, there's that Twilight Zone episode. I'm talking Tina, and I don't like you. Dude, the cinema has so many killer dolls, it's insane. Megan being the newest. Yeah. Go! Chucky being the best.
Weirdly, I got nightmares from watching An American Werewolf in London, but then got really interested in werewolves after that. I still sometimes avoid full moon nights but love werewolves.
How come they don't have werewolf doll horror movies? Like a doll gets, like, here's the thing, bear with me here, right? A kid trying to fend off a werewolf holds up a doll to stop it from biting him, right? Or her. And the doll gets bit, of course. Somebody stops the werewolf, but then the doll turns into a werewolf. Come on, dude. Asylum Pictures. Hire me, please. Dude, were doll. Or Doll Wolf. They have Wolf Cop, for the love of Bob, you know? Wolf Cop. They made 2 of them. There's a movie called Bubba, the Redneck Werewolf. Okay? Bro. You should make that. I don't got the money to make a low-budget film. I can barely do this. Dude, I'm trying to decide whether I should do 720 at 60 frames a second. We're a little limited here. There's a gnome werewolf I know of. See, there you go. They probably thought it would be a good film idea. Dude, that would be good. Bubba Hotep, that's getting a 4K. Bubba Hotep's getting 4K. Bruce Campbell, nice. Oh, and speaking of terrible movies, I didn't even realize there was a Birdemic sequel, let alone a third one. There is a Birdemic 3.
Don't you get weirded out when a doll falls over all by itself after sitting in the same position forever?
No, that's just thing shifting.
CreepyCon in Knoxville has a section of the convention dedicated to doll horror.
Yes!
From genuinely haunted to just creepy looking, they cover the whole range.
I want to go now. Damn it. Stupid people. Gotta make everything sick. There was another name. Thank you, thank you. Grim Fairy Tale, stop motion. That scared the crap out of me. The pants with a little kid. A little kid-friendly movie, mind you. But just the way that the movements and the way they were talking to the mouth just creep me out. Yeah, stop motion will do that sometimes. What made Chucky such a hit being scary was the fact that it was based off a real toy. Little buddies were real toys and started killing people was legitimately terrifying. Yes. See, there you go. Make it work. There are 3 Birdemics, yes. Dude, there was a flippin' interview with the guy. I forget his name. I think Nagoyan, the director. You know, and I'm like, how did you even get the opportunity to make a third one, let alone a second one? I feel like, you know, the folks at Riff Track should just be like, muhahaha. You know? That's when they're going to do, like, those live shows. They're like, dude, believe it or not, there's another Birdemic. But not only that, there's another one. So let's get through this. James Nguyen. Thank you. There you go. Look at all the Sharknado movies. Yeah, but they had kind of a budget. If anyone's seen Birdemic, that's barely a budget. They would have been better off having origami birds dangling in front of the camera instead of that CGI that they had. Dude, it was not a good time. It was not a good time. Yeah. It wasn't even so bad it was good. It was just so bad it was, why does this exist? The only saving grace was watching it while somebody else makes fun of it, which was Riff Tracks. That's it for me. I can't, and even that was hard to get through. You know? The Birdemic, why eggs are so expensive? Yeah, probably. Well, we looked it up, and apparently there's some kind of avian flu going around, supply-demand issues, et cetera, all that stuff. So, supply and demand. Yeah, that was the same thing with avocados. You're supposed to be an avocado glut. And then I was getting them for like less than $1 a piece. Now all of a sudden nope, they're expensive now. Why? God. Is it tied to the Birds movie? Well, I think the director thinks so. These are my connections to the Alfred Hitchcock The Birds movie. Stop. It's not. Riff Track people are still traumatized by Cool as Ice. That was terrible. Dude, the Vanilla Ice movie, Cool as Ice, even the Riff Tracks people just could not salvage it. That was awful on every level. Oh my God. Like, I cannot believe that was a thing. It was like, what's his name? No, Vanilla Ice, I guess, was popular at some point, and they were just like, yeah, let's put him in a movie. That makes absolutely no sense. Like, I've never seen somebody so punchable on film in my entire life. I'm trying to think of another character I've seen on the screen where I just wanted to reach into the screen and punch him. I'm still thinking. Hold on. I feel like I would get along with Jabba the Hutt more than Vanilla Ice, if that makes any sense. I can't think of another. That's it. They get the crown. I love Riff Tracks, but I can't sit through certain movies. Yeah, it's some movies are just really dicey, to get through. Avian flu, too much water. No, not that Avian. Come on. The only bird horror movie I've seen is the original, so I have no reference for this. Well, that's good. Keep it that way. I watched it and I wanted the refund even though I got it for free. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, you got to pay me. Fun Pug Guy, what's up? Do they still sell Good Guy dolls? I don't know. I know there's a lot of Chucky toys floating around though. Jar Jar Binks has a punchable face. Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. If I had Jar Jar Binks and Vanilla Ice in the same room, I feel like I would rather hang out with Jar Jar Binks. Because, like, he's annoying, but unknowingly so. You know? Where I feel like the Vanilla Ice character in, like, Cool as Ice would be, like, I'm just a schmuck, and yeah, I'm cool about it. You know, it's just like, you get and besides, he might start singing, you know, and you don't want to be near him when that happens. God. Avocado cartels are controlling things. It's the avocado cartels. Jar Jar is also trainable. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Fun fact, Vanilla Ice doesn't own his song Ice Ice Baby because he was threatened by Suzy Knight to be thrown off a balcony 15 stories up. Allegedly? Or is that real? Weird. Pickles. They do exist. Ibrax is on riff tracks with Jesse Ventura is hard to get through. Oh, God, that's right. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Avocados aren't in season as well. Go.
Random factoid. Back when the Ice Bucket Challenge was a thing, a couple people dumped buckets of Vanilla Ice DVDs over their heads instead of ice water.
Where would you find multiple copies of that? I mean, maybe a thrift store, but who would go out of their way to find multiple copies of that and then dump it on their head? I mean, what do? Just go on eBay and buy everyone listed? Watch, this will be really funny. It's going to be the best YouTube TikTok ever. Look, Ice Bucket Challenge. Look what I did. You see what I did there? Yeah, you wasted a bunch of money and annoyed people. That's what I want to know. I figured they would be burned by the Film Institute of America just to wipe the slate clean. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks had a hell of a tongue. Yeah, that'll be useful, right? If you're into that. I guess some people just don't know what to do with them. I guess. Maybe they were high when they did it. Still not an excuse. You shouldn't be that high. Where it impairs your judgment. Yeah, man. Dude, Vanilla Ice, just pour the DVDs on my head. We'll call it the Ice Bucket Challenge. See what I did there, bro? No, you've had too much. Put the brownie down. Let's see. They're like, let's buy his DVD so we can get more money. That will teach Ice Cube. Wait, what? I could see Ice Cube. That would have been good. No weed, more like meth. Either or. Maybe a hybrid. Random question. Twilight Zone was great, but what did you think about Tales from the Dark Side? Boom, 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 boom. Dude, that was good. It was... All right, here's the thing about Tales from the Dark Side. It's a little what the bleep, because some of it is so off the wall. Some of the episodes you're just like, what the? Like, they're really weird, and some of them aren't even cohesive or make sense, but it's still great. It's I don't even want to say it's a zany. It's like the halfway point between Twilight Zone and Tales from the Crypt, you know, where it's just like it's like right in between there. But some of the episodes were really, really good. And if you like that, there's a couple of good, amazing stories. What do you call it? Pieces that were horror-based that you should probably look up. Amazing Stories was actually really good. Yeah. Dude, Head of the Class with Christopher Lloyd was amazing. Well, Suge Knight is in jail for murder, so... Yeah. What do you think about Night Gallery? Yeah, it's a colorized Twilight Zone. You know. Let's see. Twilight Crypt of Tales from the Zone. But all of them. Tales from the Dark Side, alternated comic and serious storylines, but all of them were creepy and great. Exactly. Dude, I like the one where they were trick-or-treating. Oh, there's also a series called Monsters, which is pretty good, too. That used to be streaming, and then it stopped. I don't know if it's still available. It might be. You know? I got the box set, so meh. Coffee. Birdemic. Oh, is there a birdemic? Bro, how's the net? Oh yeah, let's go check on the internet. That's pretty good. It always starts off shaky, right? Like the internet, where it's like bum 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 bum. No, we don't have Pauline up here.
Internet is poopy sometimes.
It is.
But sometimes there are cats, and that makes it better.
Boop.
Internet is poopy sometimes.
There you go.
But then sometimes there's puppies, and that makes it better. Throw a puppy at it.
There you go. Throw a puppy at it. All right, we're doing... Why did it just jump down like stupid? All right, well, there it is. I don't know, looking pretty good. All right, there's Pauline on the case. That's like weird. It literally just shifted for no reason. All right. Thank you. I appreciate. Boom, boom. Tales from Dark Side. I read that. Boom, 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 boom. At least Jar Jar tries to become better, more mature person over the course of the prequels that got used against him, but he still tried. Yeah, I feel like Vanilla Ice wouldn't try. He's just like, I'm this cool, and that's how I'm going to be for life. And then you just got to slap him. Whoopsh. Vanilla Ice, you're bad. How about Ray Bradbury Theater? Also good. We got a box set of that, too. There was a lot of really good shows like that from ye olden times, and they went for more than one season, which was kind of nice. You know, right now it's like this really standout one like that would probably be Black Mirror, that has weird stories where it's like, oh, it's like slightly futuristic. Yeah. 20 bits, thank you, Arcade Hedgehog. Appreciate it. Thank you. There's a theory that in stable, good times, people want creepy and disturbing stories more, and in bad times, they want them less. It would explain why the height of shows like The Twilight Zone and Tales from the Dark Side were in times that were early 60s and 80s. The 80s were not a good time. Financially, they were, but dude, there was all that looming Cold War crap, you know? And I could definitely see like the 60s, 50s and 60s. That was like the birth of all that horror, like sci-fi weirdness and stuff. Space, you know, because it was that frontier of sending a person to the moon, and the talk of it was just like, oh, what's out there? Yeah. Cold War, nuclear war, yeah, all that stuff. Love, Death, and Robots here does that too. Yeah, but there is that kind of thing. So, all right, the world is miserable now, so why do we keep getting flipping zombie movies and all this other low-end crap? I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like, I feel like media is out of sync, you know? It's like the world is terrible. We get stupid content and just like weird zombie things that seem to go on forever. I don't know. I'll listen to Eminem all day, but not one Vanilla Ice song. Oh, dude, Eminem's actually really good. You know, there was like when they first started Eminem, there was always those people who were into that type of music are like, oh, look at this guy trying to rap. And then it's like years later, you're like, oh, all right, he's good. Like, it's no joke. Vanilla Ice is, as home building contractor, he had a show series. Oh, God. Is the zombie trend still going? Yeah, I mean, dude, you got Last of Us. That blew up. People love it. And it's probably more because of the game than zombies. Walking Dead still shambles along. People keep watching it. Black Mirror was better than I anticipated. Nosedive episode especially. See, that one I don't think I've seen. I read Redberry books rather than watching the shows. Yeah, I don't got time for reading because there's a lot of words. Plus, I got to tell you, reading as a dyslexic makes it totally unfun. Because you're sitting there and you're like rereading the same sentence like 3 times. And if you mess up one word in your head, then it's like the whole story changes. Oh, he did die. I'm like, oh my God. It's like all of a sudden he wasn't in for the rest of the book. I just... rather listen to Limp Bizkit than Vanilla Ice. Yeah! Yeah, Fred Durst was the Vanilla Ice of grunge. There you go. M&Ms are now supposedly called, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you're probably wrong. What? Go.
Hey Pum'Kin dude and beautiful Pauline, sorry I didn't add a message to that
That's fine.
donation. I want to say I'm still around and love your stream and want to know how's my girl Jermaine?
Well, she's alive. She's gonna be in an episode, what, Tuesday? God, what is that? Oh, Pilsy starts messing with her poetry. Oh, that'll be fun. Enjoy that. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, and for people watching on YouTube, every time we post something that's not Foamy and you say, where's Foamy in the comments, you do realize animation takes a really long time. I'm just letting you know, they can't be pushed out, like, really quick. I feel like people don't understand how animation works these days. What's up?
At least Fred Durst accepted his poser status unlike Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, I feel like Fred Durst is a little bit more legit than Vanilla Ice ever would be. But whatever, it's both of them are like ancient history at this point, so I'm just like, yeah. What do you mean it's ancient history? Bro, Duck Dodgers is now 20 years old, okay? It is. Duck Dodgers? Yes. They're literally coming out with a 20th anniversary box set because it's that old. All right. People being patient, man. I know people are impatient, but my God, I mean, you got the internet at your fingertips. It's just look up, how long does animation take? Yeah. Oh, wow, that takes a long time. Well, how come this animation's taken, so long? It's only done by one person. What's the holdup? Oh, it takes even longer with just one person. Wow, that's confusing to me. Like, what? I mean, come on. Limp Bizkit made an album last year. Well, music has my condolences. Let's see. I feel old now. We're all old. Everybody gets old. Even young people get old. They don't know it yet, but they will. Wasn't there an episode where Pilsy messed with word magnets on the fridge to make poetry? Yes. And it was still better than Jermaine's. Yes. This one actually came out good. We'll see. Yeah. Don't look at me. I listen to Everlast. Oh, come on. What? Wasn't that, Whitey Ford Sings the Blues? That dude? There was a really good... Hey, remember when Eminem was doing diss tracks to just, like, everyone that he didn't get along with? There was an Everlast one that was just amazing. I was like, oh, my God. If that was me, I'd be emotionally hurt for life. I think it was called Quitter, right? Yeah. If nobody's ever heard you got to dig deep for it. It's called Quitter by Eminem. Oh my God. Yeah, I love Quitter to Everlast. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Dude, I felt the emotional punch. I was like, oh God, if that was me. Oh. If you are interested, I mean, it's ancient feuds at this point, but it's still. Dude, the lyrical venom there towards one person is just astounding. Duck Dodgers is great. Holds up very well. I have an episode of the Cartoon Network. Hey, there you go. Well, they're coming out with a Blu-ray for it. It should be released in a couple of months, so if you actually wanted to add that to your collection, it exists. Or will soon. Everyone is old. Technically, the moment you're born, you're considered old. Yep, and you keep aging every minute. All the violence at the end. All the violence. All your animations come out good. Thank you. I've been a fan for so since 2000. Love your work. Thank you. I appreciate. Thanks for keeping up. Yeah. I'm 38 years old. I remember Duck Dodgers as a kid. Back in my day. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of weird stuff you'd watch as a kid, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. And then you look at your watch, and you're like, oh, my God, it's like 25 years old. Oh, my God. What? Dude, next year, Kurt Cobain would be dead for 30 years. Okay? Like, I think he died in, 94? Yeah. Bro. It's crazy. Let's see. Hedgehog, what's up? Say, Pum'Kin, do you still play games on your old consoles? Well, God, the oldest console I have now is the Xbox 360 and a PS Vita. Everything else either... I do have an old PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2. It's just they're not hooked up to anything, so it's kind of... I only have like 1 or 2 games for them. It's like I hold on to them for nostalgia purposes. Come on, I got Alien Hominid on the PlayStation 2. Go. Thank you.
Secret of NIM came out 41 years ago.
Oh, see? Getting old. Thank you. Was there a against M&M's versus Michael Jackson, but Michael bought Eminem's right to the Eminem song? I have no idea. It's better for animation to take longer and come out better than rush in and release something inferior. Yeah, but you know, it's all right. Here's the thing, right? For something like Steve works well, and I work well for quick, like, let's talk about what happened this week kind of stuff, right? But you kind of can't do that with animation. So you got to take a little bit more care with animation, especially if you're doing a rant or something like that. So it's like, you want something that'll be put out there that if somebody goes back to 10 years from now, they'll be like a George Carlin bit. You look back on some of the old bits and you're like, my God, that's still relevant. Yeah, that kind of thing. So at least that's what we attempt to do, you know, at least with the cartoons. You know, but for me, I come out here, we talk about stuff. You know, having Foamy do a rant about like Dead Space stuff is going to be like, by the time it comes out, nobody's playing the game. Stuff that can last the test of time. Yeah. Smells like Nirvana lives on too. What? George Carlin is a legend, yes. I mean, come on, 5 more minutes. Still hits the same as it did 20 years ago. Just 5 more minutes. No, just relevant, but forecast the issues. Yeah. That's even scarier when there's like, you do a rant like, what, 10 years ago, and then it's like all of a sudden the topic comes up again, like everybody forgot about it, and you're like, oh, God. Yeah.
I'm testing out this PS3 emulator, and it's working pretty well.
Ooh, PS3 emulator. Oh, my God. Hey, see, that's what I need in my life. I gotta start emulating it up, you know? Hey, where's the news on a Lollipop Chainsaw remake? Bro, where is that? When you're young, you're dumb and running around a lot. Picking at your snot, flicking boogers against the wall. Whether you're small or tall. Snot. Let's see. Over to hear what George Carlin would have to say about the modern days and the Cove thing. I don't know. It kind of depends on if you got it or not. There is none I've checked. Oh. No, it would be really interesting to just see older comedians that are either dead or just don't do comedy anymore, their approach to the modern state of the world, you know? And I feel like, you know, and of course I don't know the person, but I feel like George Carlin would be more along the lines of Dave Chappelle at this point. And I feel like people would just try to cancel him because it's like, oh, they said this about that, you know, because nobody can take a joke anymore, so blah, blah, blah. You know, what are you going to do? Let's see. I want a Taxi remake game. Oh, Crazy Taxi? Oh, yeah, Crazy Taxi. That's still available on, like, Steam. Even they have a mobile version, which actually is very responsive. So if you do like that game, just, you know, get it there. Soundtrack ain't the same, but they tried, you know. They released a preview of that would look like in a remake. This person said something I disagree with. Canceled him. Yeah. George Carlin would be the first to be canceled. Like I go back in my head and I'm thinking, all right, let's see if he would be canceled for A, B, or C, you know. And I think he was more. And I'm not going to get into politics, but I think since he was more left-leaning, people would be less likely to cancel somebody like George Carlin. Even though he was very middle of the road. He was a very logic kind of person, you know? But in this day and age, if you are on the fence, being logical, trying to go down the line, saying, this side's got a point, this side's got a point, that's literally enough to, you know, get canceled because you're not part of a group, so each group hates you. And that's the sad thing. You know, it's very difficult to walk that middle line and try and be logical about it without both sides saying you're part of the other side and that's why they hate you. So even if you are very moderate in your views, the problem with that moderate perspective is at some point it's going to offend one side or another, even if it's logical, because, you know, everyone's in like the all or nothing camp. So one side's got to be like, well, you have to agree with all these issues or you're one of them. And the other side's the same way. And then you're just like, I've got to keep my mouth shut.
Shame what didn't work on the show Velma to get canceled.
It'll get canceled. It'll get canceled. It's canceled. It's done. They ain't making another season. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Not gonna happen. Yeah. A lot of Rodney's material still relevant today. Oh, Rodney Dangerfield? Dude, some of the comebacks that guy had for hecklers in the crowd is probably the best material you would actually hear in your entire life. If you can find some clips on YouTube, oof. That guy was merciless. I bet Carlin would be embarrassed about whoever tried to cancel him and end up getting canceled themselves because they couldn't deal with George Carlin's logic. I don't think people care about logic at this point. No, because George Carlin being a very logical person... Go.
The Earth has been closed captioned for the logically impaired.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's like basically I feel like if people can't argue with the logic, they just block you or mute you. That's the thing. They report, block, mute. So they don't want to hear it, so nothing gets past their wall of what they think is right. So there's no growth. So nothing ever changes. And then the walls just get built up higher and higher on both sides while the people walking that line are just stuck in the trenches of people throwing rocks from both sides down on them. And all they're like, dude, I'm just trying to be logical about this, you know? I mean, that's pretty much how the world works now, and it's kind of sad. You know? So it's like, until something actually changes in the collective mentality or the zeitgeist of humanity.
Brought to the new Velma's pre-Scooby-Doo antics. Lately, I've cracked open the crates to my Ventura Brothers stash. Good times revisiting the early seasons.
Good job. Nice. But, yeah, dude, logic is vilified, so we're all doomed. In this day and age, thank you. George Carlin's soft language and cultural issues is one of my favorite stand-up hits. Yeah, soft language. Dude, shell-shocked. He had a point. He had a point then, and it's still relevant now. In this day and age, if logic goes against feelings will win, which is why Twitter is such a dumpster fire. Well, I mean, that's the problem. Like, nobody's ever taught people to override their feelings. Like, look, don't react based on feeling. You know? React what's up here. Process first, then react. You know, but a lot of people can't do that. And that goes back to that rediscovered article where, Steve talked about it. A lot of people don't have internal dialogue. So, basically, there isn't that middleman to help them filter.
What about Don Rickles, though?
Don Rickles. I haven't heard a lot of their stuff. I should probably go back to that because I probably find it hilarious. Your logic has no power here. I got feelings. Okay. Can you feel me punching you in the face? I felt that. People who operate, and here's the thing. I'm all for feelings and emotions because I have many of them. But I gotta say, if you are operating on feelings first, then logic, you lost. Because anyone who's logical has power over you. Because emotions are easy to manipulate. They really are.
You can't even tell them to relax and think things through without people seeing you as an unfeeling monster.
Exactly. You literally just made my point. Like, if you say to somebody, dude, relax. Don't tell me to relax. Okay, I see where we're going here. You just need to chill out. Don't tell me to chill out. Oh, I think you're overreacting. What do you mean I'm overreacting? Don't be dismissive of my feelings. I think I have to be because I really feel like you're overreacting to something. I mean, you drank the rest of the half and half, and, you know, I'm a little agitated about it, but it wasn't my fault. All right, dude, you're really just getting out of hand now. This is why I can't talk to you, because you're literally unstable, and you don't even see, I'm not unstable. You know? Dude, you could literally just push somebody to crazy situations, and it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Keep that in mind. You know, anyone who's logical, if you are a 100% emotional person, you've lost. You've already lost. You know, you having outbursts and stuff like that, they can literally push you to the point where you will attack them. And the logical person will be like, well, dude, I don't know, man. I was just talking to them and they got crazy and just started, don't call me crazy. They got emotionally unstable. Don't call me emotionally unstable. You know, and then, dude, you get thrown in jail. I played a long game. In every aspect of my life, I play the long game. I will literally spend years doing it. If there's somebody I know who's just literally picking at the scab, keep picking. See what happens. So yeah, it's just like, if you're a logical person, keep that in mind. You hold all the cards and play them carefully. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. No, and here's the thing. I was a very emotional person as a small person. Dude, you were just 100% emotions. And it didn't get you anywhere because nobody wanted to listen to it, you know? And granted, different times now, but, you know, to sit around and just shrieking about your issues, your problems, why aren't people doing blah, 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 it doesn't do anything, you know? So if anything, it was more of a detriment to you because people who knew what bothered you would pick at it and make you more angry. So then it got to the point where you're just like, all right, dude, I'm not going anywhere with this. So, all right, let's do this. You know, you adjusted, you know, you worked at it, you know, you made it better. You know, now it's just like, you know, literally anything could be thrown at you and you're just like, yeah, whatever, bro. Anyone old enough to remember Chris Rush? I don't remember Chris Rush. If George Carlin was this way, it'd be already done with the 4 groups of annoying people going away to 4 different states experiment by now. Well, that's the other thing. Oh, go.
Then came along the dawn.
Oh no, we got ourselves sorted before that. I don't think Dawn would put up with us in pre-dawn stage. What? No, because dude, it was just all over the place. Well, the thing is, your mental approach to things changed when you got to because he went to art school, believe it or not, yeah. And you had more of a similar mentality that we're understanding to that kind of thing. Artists are sometimes very logical. You'd be very surprised. So that was a nice reprieve from just the zoo that was high school, grade school, and all that other garbage. So, you know, that definitely helped. You know, and your parents were super logical and whatnot, and, you know, they're just like, oh, dude, you know, just don't worry about these people, they're schmucks. Let's see. Freaking out, throwing fit. What? All right, fine. Oh, you got fired? That's a thing. Yeah. Back to the drawing board. What? Richard Pryor was one of the greats. I wish he would have kicked around all day for the sake of society. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up now. If there's one thing I've learned, is we can't get what? Can't let high school go or move on. Yeah, dude. Well, the thing is, God, the social dynamics of high school are generally the rest of your life. You don't realize that when you're in high school. You're gonna be like, oh, things are gonna get better. No, because the same mentalities are a little more muted as you get older, but they're still there. They're still there. You got your cliques, you know, you got your jocks, you got your blah, 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 blah. They're still there. Yeah. So if anything I've learned from high school is to stay away from basically 99% of society because I generally don't get along with most people. You know? Let's see. Last year, I'm still working at a new place, though. All right, there you go. Nice. Why are things I grew up with and many other kids grew up with suddenly not okay when those same kids are adults? Because they get older and they have kids themselves and they don't want their kids to be exposed to the fun stuff they were exposed to because now it's considered bad. And they're supposed to be more mature. Ha! Bum, bum, bum. Welcome to my life. Exactly. So then what do you do then? How do you hang out with the human population or contact them? This is it. This is human contact for me. That's it. in real life, I just go through life's motion. I'm very polite to people, but I help out when I can. But other than that, I generally don't get invested in other people's lives because it's very rare. Because I find that a lot of people that I've met personally in my life, they become emotional vampires, if that makes any sense. Because they'll just latch onto you and keep asking you for advice and things like that, and you're just like trying to help, and it's just like. You know, you get calls at 2 a.m. saying, dude, I got this problem and I don't know what to do. Well, just do this and this and this. Yeah, but, you know, everyone here has met that one person that you give them advice and it's not the advice that they want. So they just want to hear what they want to hear so they can validate the pre-made choice in their head. That's all they want. You know, and once you recognize that, you can be like, do what you want. You know, but they need validation from you for whatever godforsaken reason. They're just like, yeah, but I want you to, what's your advice? It better be exactly what I'm thinking. No, my advice is completely opposite. Go.
The vampires who suck your blood are predictable. The ones who drain your soul are far more insidious and hard to identify.
You got to say that in the, what's that game? Oh, it's going to hurt my head now. You got to say it in the darkest dungeon voice. It's far more insidious and hard to identify. I wish I could do that voice. That was awesome. Most people just want an echo chamber. Exactly. You know, people just want an echo chamber, and it's like, why am I here then? Well, you got to echo my emotional feels for validation. No, that's not my job. You want to do that, look in the mirror and smile at yourself and say everything's okay. Like, I don't have time for that. I got my own life to live. I can't be validating your path in life. Get the hell out of here. I'm bluntly honest. I dislike beating around the bush. Yeah, because it's tedious. You know, it's like nobody wants people. Oh god, people just be honest with me. Yeah, you don't really want that. It's true.
Whenever I am asked for advice, I ask them if they are sure because I will tell them the truth.
Yep.
Likely what they do not want to hear. They say yes. I tell them. They get angry. And I said you asked. After this,
they ask me advice again. You're cut off. You're cut off. You're cut off from advice. DJ Goldie, what's up? How's it going? Well, I mean, that's the thing. And I feel like everybody who wants to help out wants to actually be honest. Like if you're a person, somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, dude, I need advice. You will, if you care about the person, you will give them the best advice you have based on your assessment of the situation. And you do so because you want to help them. You want to say, look, no, if you buy this used car, it's not going to work for you. Yeah, it's a good deal and it'll be the quick fix for now, but long term, it's just going to be a bunch of problems. Even something simple like that. And then they're just like, but it's such a good deal. I'm like, please do not buy this car. Please, I'm telling you, do not buy this car. Take public transportation for the next month until something comes up. You know, that's better. You know, they buy the car anyway, and then you get the phone calls that they need a ride to work because their car's broken. You know, and it's like, dude, you're trying to help. And I think everybody really wants to help people, you know, but people who seek help, they just want validation for what they think they know is right. You know?
the biggest trap of them all is when your manager or their bosses ask for your honest opinion on how I think the company supports its employees or what they can do to improve. Nope. It's a trap.
Oh, I'd go in saying, look, I know this is a trap, but I have to tell you exactly what I feel. And here's the thing. I'm going to record this, all right? Just so you know, if there's any reprisal happening to me on the, staff here, I'm just saying, there you go. So do you agree to be recorded? Well, no. All right, well, then I guess our discussion's over. See you tomorrow at 9. Like, that's what I would have to do. There's no way. Oh, God. Friend, tell me what you really think. Me? No, you don't want to hear that. Trust me. Exactly. What's your opinion? Do you really want it? Yeah, no, I really want to know what you think. Okay. No, I got to ask like 3 times. Are you sure? Just tell me your opinion. All right, everything you do has been dumb for the last 10 years, okay? You make stupid decisions every single day of your life, and you're a moron, okay? Every bit of practical advice that has been given to you. You have ignored and you've gone on your own path, and it's been a terrible
Emotional
mess.
vampirism also appears unintentionally. Like you have to distance yourself from someone because they don't want to help themselves and you can't keep constantly worrying over them. It takes too much emotional energy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hold on. My first ship docking, one of my coworkers told me they didn't want it. It seemed like it was mansplaining to me. Stopped him right there and said, dude, I've never done this. Tell me what to do. Yeah, exactly. Right? And there's that fear of giving advice now, you know? Because then they feel like, you know, certain people feel like you're talking down to them. No, I'm giving you advice because you're new and that's kind of thing. And you had actually a perfect response to that. It's like, dude, you're not mansplaining. I've never done this to me. You happen to be male and you were giving me advice. That's not mansplaining. That's you have a gender and you're giving me advice on to how not to break this ship. That's useful right now. You know? There's always that weird thing now, and it's just like, I hate when advice ends up being hindered by gender, you know? Like, oh, well, you're a guy, so don't explain this to this person because then you'll be considered mansplaining. All right, well, is there somebody here that is not a male that wants to give this advice that is super useful and will save the life of 150 people on the ship? You know, and then there's this, like, tiny 6-year-old girl who's there for like go to work with your dad. I'll do it. Okay, here's what you tell him. Little kid comes up. This is what you want to do with the ship. You don't do that, and then you put that over there, and then you do this, and blah blah blah. And he just says, okay. Are you child splaining to me? Oh my dad. It boggles my mind. You know, advice is advice. Whoever it comes from is just like, no, there's a difference between giving advice and talking down to someone. And a lot of people can't tell the difference because if the advice goes against what they want to do, then they feel like you're being condescending to them. I'm sorry. You know what? Your emotions are more important than the right thing to do, I guess. So, yeah, you go cry in the corner while the ship capsizes. But anyway. The internet has this mentality that if you don't stick with something through all their troubles, you're inherently a bad person. No, there's definitely got to be a cutoff point. With anybody who has an issue, you can give the best advice, and I know. Because here's the thing. Here, and no, the squirrel did this with the Jermaine character, and that was kind of a good example. What's up?
One time the maker of Men in Black politely offered to clarify a plot point to a couple random women who were discussing the film. They said we don't need an old white male's mansplanation. He said okay and apologized.
Left, then posted the event on his Twitter. Yeah. Like, all right, I guess, sure. You think you know what happens. Okay. But, no, there's for your own sake. Like here's the thing, and this is a very telling example of human selfishness, right? Where there is that concept. Well, you got to, if somebody has that thing going on, and you have to stick with them through thick and thin, no matter what it is. At a certain point, there's got to be a cutoff, and people on the needy end of the spectrum are just like, you have to put up with me. No, because it's that concept of becoming an emotional hostage to everybody in your life who has some kind of issue. And how is that fair to you as a functioning person to be able to, practically live your life if you're constantly at the whim of somebody who has outburst issues or is constantly just seeking attention? They're being needy. They want advice. They don't take advice. They get into trouble. You got to bail them out constantly. And here's the thing. Our mentality was always this, okay? Because we've had a number, thanks for the follow, a number of family F-ups, okay? Like people within the family who were really toxic, really messed up, okay? And your parents were of the mindset, look, you are going to drag down everybody you touch. You're gone. Like that kind of thing. Didn't matter if they were blood, right? Zero Cool, what's up? Thanks. Hi. It didn't matter because we've had people that were so dysfunctional from different things. And it was, we're talking more, I guess, substance abusey type things as opposed to mental stuff. But those two are intertwined now because everyone thinks, you know, you don't have a choice in it. And I'm not going to get into the fine details of that. But, you know, dude, just as survival goes. Go.
Been training someone on my job for almost a year. Because I'm a guy and she is a girl, when I try to correct her mistakes or find ways to ask her to come back to work and not talk too much, without me seeing as a workaholic.
Myself or hurting her feelings. She does do a great job, though. Yeah, dude, work is work. And here, getting that, we'll get to that in one sec. No, but just for the sake of survival, think of your body, right? If your hand is poisoned and it's going to infect and destroy the rest of your body and somebody says you have to cut it off, yeah, it's going to be painful, but you still get to live. Thank you. And that's kind of the way I look at like toxic people, emotional vampires, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it's not going to look good. It's going to look real bad. You cut off your own limb just to save the rest of your body. Yo, people are going to be like, yo, that's messed up. You're weird. You know, but hey, I'm alive. And that's how you should approach life, and especially people that are dragging you down in it. What? You end up, I'll be the first to say, you will live a very solitary life because you have no idea how dysfunctional people are out there. Dude, they pile up, man, and they gravitate towards you. And before you know it, you're spending like 7 hours a day just trying to help everybody who's just emotionally shattered for some godforsaken reason. You know? All I said was, if you're going to use the rest of the half and half, buy another one. Oh, God. Yeah, but then there's that kind of thing where it's like, God, you know, working environments shouldn't have become so... I don't... So much of it, like, it's like everyone's walking on eggshells now merely because of difference of gender.
I've had issues with teaching teens because they keep arguing with me that it's just a job at... insert fast food joint, it doesn't matter. I keep trying to get them to see that jumping jobs makes it harder to find another job.
Oh, yeah, no, kids don't care. Kids absolutely don't care. No, they don't care about their jobs. And I would say in their defense, the jobs don't make them care about their jobs. They get pushed around, put in random time slots for scheduling, are underpaid, underappreciated, and are easily replaceable. Who's going to take that job seriously? I mean, and not for nothing. They're not wrong, but should understand that their actions are not right either. So that's kind of a weird, sticky situation to be in. Because even if you're working, I mean, who's going to have a strong work ethic? Working for, you know, a fast food place that treats them like garbage and is, you know, oh, you got to come in now. If you don't, you're fired. All right, you're fired. You know, I mean, dude, I have no value in a job like that.
I always go back to when I was devastated when me and my closest friend stopped being friends because he wanted space. After a couple weeks, it hit me. Since we stopped talking, my life got so much more simple.
Yes.
It was
then I realized how toxic our friendship was. It's been 4 years and we haven't spoken since. He has reached out, but I don't respond. Good job. There you go. Be strong. No, dude, you'd be surprised. You cut out some toxic people in your life will actually get better. Because I look at something like that, like you can be on a path. Like, you know, it goes back to that anchored minds kind of thing that you did. If you're on a path and you're in a boat, right? And your life, you can kind of float wherever you want to go. I can go this way, I can go that way. And then there's that one person who's the anchor who's like, boom. Brr. All right, I want to go this way, but wait. Okay, maybe I could do it. No. Hey, you know what would be? No. You know, they literally just keep you in place and suck the life out of you, and you can't move on, you know? So it's that thing. And you don't have to be cruel about it, but I feel like there definitely needs to be boundaries and limits you put on anything in that kind of situation. You know, there's always, and dude, I've had to deal with toxic people, you know, even friends that were just like super, God, and they were like at their core, they were good people. Thanks for the follow. at their core, they were good people, just made stupid mistakes over and over and over and over. And all the advice in the world did not change them. They're not bad people. And that makes it even worse because it's like at their core, they are good people, but they're stupid and they're dragging you down. And that's the problem, you know? So that's when it's even worse, you know, when they are generally a good person. Then you got to balance the scales. You'd be like, they're good people, but my God, they are dragging me down, but they're kind of fun to hang out with, but oh my God, you know, that kind of thing. And those are the toughest decisions, you know, but yeah, you do what you can. Yeah. Add. No. There you go. Let's go back to read that. Okay. Have to count out the dispatcher's niece. She's in her 50s, whines constantly, never comes to work, never does anything other than sit at the desk. Just so the rest of the office doesn't have to deal with the crap. What? Wow. I don't know. I'm taking a few weeks of self-care so you have some time. Nice. There you go. Go.
A popular video is Tyler Perry comparing people in your life to a leaf, branch, or root. It is very relevant and he makes valid points.
There you go. I kind of want to assume that it's going with like when one leaf starts dying, ruins the rest of the branch.
Years ago, I was asked to help a person that I realized later that they didn't want the help. Start of that relationship, my hair was dark brown. After it was gray silver. I had only entered my 20s at the time.
Now I'm a bit more careful offering help. Yeah. I extend my help to like, here's a little bit of advice, take it or leave it. And I try not to get offended if they don't take it because I know they won't. And then maybe helping them move something every once in a while. Yeah.
Speaking of work, I meet a guy from Europe that said he works for MCD for 15 years. I asked him why and he said the pay and benefits and wonders why the US doesn't do the same because it won't increase the price if the food and the
workers would be more happy and want to stay. Yeah, that's the thing. God. I feel like employers in the States there's a number of reasons it does not benefit companies to have long-term employees. One, pension, health care, mandatory raises after, a certain amount of time. You imagine, dude, it's easier to get rid of an employee year after year and pay a new one minimum wage, no benefits or anything like that.
Leaf, most people only there to take from the tree. Branch, you think they are there for you but can break off leaving you high and dry. Roots, a tree only needs a few roots to get everything it needs.
Exactly. There you go. A couple of roots. Nice. Good job. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Yeah, Tyler Perry. Dude, Tyler Perry is very underrated. I know a lot of the characters like Medea and stuff like that. Everyone's like, Goofy. Dude, the guy's no joke. That guy is put together up here more than people realize. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know, just, reevaluate. It's good to reevaluate your life every once in a while and see just how much toxicity is in it, how much of it you can mitigate. A public health care system could save money for employees. Yeah, but, then there's no profit, Got to worry about that. Bum, bum, bum. Let me get some coffee. Coffee. Go have the coffee. Yeah. We saw this one. Damn it. I drank a bunch of water. Now I'm going to have coffee. Oh, I like that one. It's artsy. See, I don't think I've seen that one before. Nice. I've seen that one. Does anybody play Forspoken? I asked this last time. Nobody did, but I don't know if anyone played it yet. No, because Forspoken, here's the thing. And somebody, like when I watched a couple of people play it, I was like, yeah, I kind of see that. Somebody wrote an article that's like, basically the main character in Forspoken is like Ash from Army of Darkness. Like, they're in a modern world and then they're thrown into this weird fantasy kind of thing. But they still have their snarky real world behaviors. But of course it's not Evil Dead, so get it out of your head. But there are comparisons to the character, like, oh yeah, you know, blah blah blah. Just, you know, the premise is kind of very samey. You played a little bit because it already got discounted on PS5 because like the reviews were so mediocre. People were like, meh. Hey, thank you, YouTube person. Really? Really? Thank you. Let's see. It's not as bad as some people think. Yeah, I mean, I kind of gathered that. I was like, it looked like a 3 out of 5 kind of game, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't look like it's doing anything groundbreaking, but it looks like it's kind of fun at certain points. So, you know, I'm not going to be like, dude, it's a AAA, you know, 10 out of 10, you know, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't say it's nearly as bad as people think it is. But it kind of depends on how many games you've played, I guess. The other game that came out that just like dropped all of a sudden was Hi-Fi Rush. It was from the Xbox thing. When they did developer thing, they're like, dude, Hi-Fi Rush, boom, there you go, play it. It's like a rhythm-based game. And it was interesting because they actually said the inspiration was from Edgar Wright films. And for those who don't know Edgar Wright films, a lot of the film revolves around music. You know, and they took that approach to this game where it's like the world has its own beat. Dawn played a little bit on stream, right? Yeah. So it's got its own beat and its own rhythm, and that's how you fight. So it's like a rhythm fighter. It's actually kind of interesting. And it's done pretty well for a game that just popped out of nowhere. And I think people appreciated it. Get this. People actually like this game out there in the world, surprisingly. Because you know what? They didn't have 2 years to dwell on it like they did Forspoken, saying, oh, wow, I have all these aspirations and hopes and, you know, preconceived notions of what this game is going to be when it came out. Yo, game devs, you got to do more of this. Keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody about the game, and you just drop it when you drop it, you know? Apex Legends did that, and people loved it because it came out of nowhere. They didn't have all these, you know, preconceived ideas of what to expect, and their anticipation was mitigated merely because it was like, oh, it's here. You know, for every time Cyberpunk got delayed, people were like sending death threats because they're insane. You know, and then they pushed out a game that was not complete, you know, and it had to be patched upon patched upon patched. You know? And I really like that approach. Just drop it when it's done.
The only problem I'm having is it's not optimized well, and even my PC can't handle the top settings.
Yeah. A lot of people say just wait it out until that's patched. But, yo, QA, man. Get your act together. You should not be pushing out a game that is basically like, oh, well, it's not optimized, especially on that level. Come on, you know? It's ridiculous. Derp threats. Grr. Yeah, it gets weird. Hi-Fi Rush is great. The animation is off the hook. Dude, that's what I like about it. The aesthetic is nice. It looks different than every flippin' game everyone's had to play for the last couple of years. You know? It just came out of nowhere. It was a nice surprise. It's bright. It's colorful. The humor is actually pretty decent in that. I'm not saying it's top tier, but at least it's lighthearted in its approach to stuff. And I'm like, hey, look, something different. And people like it, you know? I didn't know this game existed until they just showed it off and they're like, here it is. I'm like, wait, what? All right, yeah, I'll play it. Yeah. Just throw it in Game Pass. Everyone has access to it. People enjoy it. Eminem dropped Kamikaze without telling anyone because of the backlash from a revival. Yeah. It's like, there you go. There you go. Go.
Investors don't care about how that might hurt the company and want there to be a public image for their games to know what they're investing in. It's always the shareholders messing things up.
Well, shareholders should shut the hell up then, because I swear every game that gets push and hype for 2 to 3 years prior to release, I'm like, they turn out to be underwhelming, and it's very unfortunate. Like, okay, the Dead Space remake, you know what? They showed a trailer, and I was like, wow, it looks good. I didn't expect a lot from it because they didn't harp on it a lot. And it came out, and it looks really good. People seem to enjoy it. Callisto Protocol, essentially the same game. They hyped that for the longest time before it came out. It came out, people are like, not exactly what I expected. You know, that kind of thing. And it's very bizarre. I feel like the less is more approach to, you know, showing off stuff for games is probably the best way to go. Don't show off a lot. If you want to let people know that it exists, that's fine. But you don't have to keep dropping Here's some more gameplay. Here's some of this. Here's all this. Here's all this. Look at that. Keep up with the game dev logs and all this other stuff, bro. By the time your game comes out, people are sick of it, and it really detracts from it. You know, people get mentally exhausted from the sheer amount of marketing and info they've received prior to the game coming out, and then when it comes out, they don't care. It's like movie trailers when you see like 30 of them before the film comes out, and you're like, essentially, I've watched the whole film. You go to the film, it was all right. Yeah. I don't know. That's the odd thing about people. Why complain when a game gets pushed back? You want to hear that. That means if there's issues, problems, don't you want them worked out? No, I want it now. You know? Can't wait for Hogwarts. Yeah, we'll see how Twitch handles that. No, because, yeah, I'm not going to get into it because I can't deal. You know, for me, I'm just looking at it. Oh, cool, game. You know? Wonderland Image, what's up? If I made a game, I would like to hide everything till a month or less before release. Yeah, you just start putting tidbits out there and whatnot. You know, because unless you're doing like a Kickstarter or something for it, you only have to show so much. You know, you want people to have anticipation. You know, there's that mystery. What is it? What's going to happen? This could be amazing. I don't know what this is. This looks so cool. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good idea, though. Slow roll. That's why I don't watch movie trailers much. I want to be surprised. Exactly. I mean, if the pushback gets justified in the end, sometimes it gets delayed and no changes are made. Yeah.
35 moons, that is all.
Hey, 35 moons, Demented King, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate. Thank you. That's cool. Thank you. Hey. Yeah, but generally it's just like, I don't know. Again, I feel that approach is probably the best approach now. Yeah. Just work on a game, have it come out when it comes out, and maybe like a month beforehand, just let it simmer a bit if you need to. But again, dude, Hi-Fi Rush just dropped out of nowhere. Nobody knew about it, and it was just people enjoy it. Because, again, no preconceived notions. People didn't have time on the internet to speculate and complain and whine. I don't like the direction of this style. Like the poor creator of, what was it, Monkey Island. You know, there was a style change for that, and people just crapped all over it to the point where it was like, the joy of sharing has been taken from me. Like, that was like a partial, paraphrased quote from the person. I'm like, oh man, that's sad. Yeah. So it's essentially don't let the internet have any info until you just drop it. And then if it's garbage, they'll complain about it, you know? But I think people, when they're pleasantly surprised by something new, especially on the internet, it's like, oh, damn, you know? They enjoy a surprise, you know? Rather than festering over little bits of information and watching hundreds of YouTube videos that say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again about a game, you know? Did blah, blah, blah just say blah, blah, blah about this blah, blah, blah game? When will it be released? Blah, blah, blah patch notes. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, my head hurts. Yeah. That was a cool thing, dude. It's like back in the day, you got a game. It was on the shelf. You bought it. You brought it home. Yay. You know, it was fun. Sunset Overdrive got hyped, and then people complained. I didn't know anything about Sunset Overdrive until it came out. I saw like a trailer, and I was like, dude, this looks like fun. I bought it, and I enjoyed the hell out of that game. Dude, it has Buzz from the Melvins in it. Bro, come on. Like, dude, I thought that was a fun game. And God, I wish more games that had that kind of fluidity of motion for traversing the map. Oh, that was amazing. The ad for the Super Bowl halftime show last year, the ad was perfect. People had a heart attack about the leaked GTA 6 footage that no one was ever meant to see. People literally took, look to hate things? Oh. Yeah, the GTA 6 thing. Like, dude, you know how underdeveloped that game is right now? And everyone's like, I can't believe you're making a game look like this. Bro, do you even know how game development works? Shut the hell up and delete your own account because you're stupid. You know, it's that kind of mentality out there. And then for some reason, people latch onto that hatred and it trends. And everyone thinks the next GTA is going to be the worst game ever made based on a pre-alpha. If alphas have alphas, that's the state of this game. You're going to tell me you're going to look at that garbage clip of GTA 6, seeing what Red Dead Redemption 2 looked like, and you're like, how could they release a game like this? If you get the hell out of here, dude. You have no concept of what happens in life. My God. It's like an underdeveloped amoeba just tapping at their keyboard, and the only thing on there are hate keys. Don't like, hate, die. You know, I'm just like, what? Get out of here. Get off the keyboard. I could toss a frog on a keyboard and get more intellectual conversations. Negative is easy to latch onto. Yeah, but why would you want to? I really don't like, and people think I'm a very negative person. The reason why I'm very negative is because I always have a very positive outlook on how things should be. And then I'm constantly disappointed, you know, and that's my fault because I'm like, you know, I expect people to do good things and I expect people to be logical and all this other stuff. And I'm disappointed when they inevitably are not. I don't like accepting things in a terrible form. I like them to be better, you know, but I generally don't try to be super pessimistic, you know, like even the Disney stuff we talked about earlier, all the reboots and stuff that we always complain about, blah, 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 blah. You know, dude, deep inside, I go into every one of these things expecting something to be great, but
It's like when the first time Kingdom Hearts 3 had a trailer. Square Enix wasn't ready, but Sony forced them to put something up, and that led to hype that got destroyed because of how long it took.
yeah, there you go. It's like people like building up that hype train, you know, for stuff that comes out. And it's like, there's a breaking point for hype to turn into anger. There is a very fine line, you know, and Cyberpunk figured that out. You know, they were just like, oh, okay, let's hype up this game. Okay, everyone hates us now. Oh, it's not going away. All right, let's release the game. You know, so people stop hating. Oh, it's a little broken. They're still going to hate it. Oh, this is just, it's a crescendo that never ends, you know? No, and even now, it's like, you know, okay, Cyberpunk is a I would say fully functioning game that people can enjoy, and there's still people hating on it. Well, whose fault is that? You know, it's like, you know, you expected too much. You wanted it too soon. You didn't let things get ironed out. Whether it's the, you know, whatever, board of directors, the stockholders, whatever you want to call it, it's something went wrong and things didn't go as well as it should have. They still made money on the game, so it didn't really matter, but they could have made more. I don't know. So being gone for the health issues for what? Oh, our internet was really, really, really bad. So we made the internet health ICU to keep an eye on this thing. We don't have any of the old logs because they disappear after 7 days. But if you see a lot of red marks, and anybody who's a streamer has access to this tool, it's just called Twitch Inspector. It shows you in real time if anything's going wrong. So you'll see a red line go through it where it says it's unstable. And we had quite literally dozens per stream. But now we haven't had one. So it's beautiful. Yeah. So we've just been trying to monitor that and keep up so we can, you know, give our ISP contact the data, if any, when things go wrong. What? Where is that? Where is that? It's just called Twitch Inspector. If you're a streamer, basically it'll give you the last week's data of your streams and let you know if there's stability issues. Cyberpunk is still raking in the bucks, though. Yeah, you know, but I mean, it could have kept going. But again, you know, everyone was complaining about the GTA 6 things. It's just like I don't know why people want to latch onto that kind of negativity and just accept that this is the way things are. You know, like, oh, this is all right. This little bit of information got leaked, which is totally inaccurate, and I'm going to be outraged about it. Well, I think that goes back to the internal dialogue thing. I know Steve talked about this literally last night, but for those who weren't there, we talked about this a while ago. Somebody rediscovered the article that 50 to 60% of people on the planet do not have an internal dialogue. And I'm wondering if that's where this chaotic hatred comes from. Like, you know, that little voice in your head that says, well, maybe I shouldn't, you know, step on that tack. It'll probably hurt. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Some people don't have that in their head. So maybe that's what people just react. And that's the problem we're seeing in society is they don't think before they speak and they just speak. And there's a disconnect. The voice in your head is the middle person that kind of stops you from doing dumb crap. Yeah, it's called a conscious. But there you go. I don't know. It's just, I feel like people should be a little bit more optimistic about things so they don't feel like their whole life is a miserable hellhole of unescapable turmoil. Yeah. Dude, a lot of people have a very bleak outlook on life. They really do. And every time they wake up, they're like, I can't believe I live on a planet this terrible. I'm like, dude, it's technically, all right, environmentally, maybe not the best it's ever been, but our lifestyles have been... you're probably in the best, especially if you're living in a civilized, country that has developed. You're doing better than you think, dude. Go back 50 years. God, I don't know, but whatever. Startup in the name of Quick Fix Internet hosted a promotional event in my neighborhood yesterday, offering a free meal and gift bag to everyone who showed up. The spokesman promised better service and less with the competition charged for. We'll see. Hopefully. It's like they expected a dumpster fire to the ad campaign to burn over the treads of the product, but constantly there's still that mess. Yeah. Remember about a month ago, our internet kept randomly going out. When we finally got a technician over, they said apparently they had gotten complaints all over our neighborhood. Turned out there was a utility box that needed a new battery that was powering all the lines near us. Why would a utility box need a battery? Shouldn't that be like hardwired in there? Oh, you need a new battery. Let me just put a couple of Duracells in there. What the hell? Why is the internet being run by batteries? If you're alive, it's a good day. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. What do you mean? Who's being mean to you? I didn't mean good. What? Go.
I love that college humor skit where people wished they lived in different eras and one guy keeps pointing out the problems with that.
Oh, yeah, dude. I really wish I lived during this time. It would have been so much better. Yeah, okay. Like you realize there was like... No, okay, I'm not going to get into it. It gets crazy. Bump, 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 bump. 50 years ago, I still had all my teeth. Back in my day, I had teeth. But yeah, mostly rural neighborhoods, crappy infrastructure, probably 1 or 2 ISPs in our area also doesn't help. Yeah, it gets a little dicey. Well, unfortunately... Oh.
Really early announcement trailers are secretly also recruitment trailers to hire more devs so they can finish the game on time.
Well, shouldn't that already be allotted for? Like, yo, developers, dropping a trailer for a game that you don't have enough devs to complete? What the hell are you doing with your life? But it'll help and we'll get more people. What? You should have this already planned out. Who just makes up a trailer, throws it out there and says, well, I hope this works. Let's hire a bunch of people. What? Get out of here. I would never do that, dude. No. I would say, all right. I could say if you're like, okay, you're an indie studio and you're like, look, this is the game we kind of envision, but we're going to have to hire people. You know? State that out there. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm a huge developer with a team of 50 people. Or I don't know how big dev teams are. I don't know. Whatever. That's gaming industry crap. Publishers aren't known for being generous to their devs. Oh, nobody is. Bethesda does that? Why? Maybe I just have no understanding of how game development works. I assume people work on a game. Like, what do they have? Just like 3 or 4 people putting together a mock-up? And then just like, all right, maybe we can hire people to do this, actually. What? So you get a team. We have a project. We envision this project. Let's go, you know? I know. 3 days without power reduce us to caveman mentality. Hey, I did without a week. I was fine. The game's not done yet, but here's the ad for it. Yeah, like freaking Beyond Good and Evil 2. My God, we are never going to see that, especially in the state of Ubisoft. Yeah, there's no news on that, right? Dude, Beyond Good and Evil 2, they had an awesome trailer. You know, that CGI trailer was amazing, and I was all in on that. And I'm just like, what is it, 4 years now? We ain't never going to see that. Go.
As announced during the Royal Rumble last night, Thea Trinidad, known as Zelina Vega, will be doing the commentary for all the fights players do when
good?
Street Fighter VI arrives on June 2nd. She cosplayed as
Yuri, quite the intriguing design they had for her. Why does it take June 2nd? Oh, God, that takes forever to come out. I don't know. I guess that's the thing. All right. Thank you. They put the game out and then they just update it as they need to. I don't like that. I want a finished game when it comes out. When's that going to happen? I don't think a Hi-Fi Rush got an update yet. I feel like that was a finished game when it came out. You know, they had the time to put it out. Boom, there you go. Bum, bum, bum. Beyond Good and Evil 2 needs an overhaul, at the least because of how messed up the development process has been. Yeah, weren't they trying to do like a lot of community-based assets in there? But of course they didn't want to pay anybody, and then that kind of backfired on them, allegedly. I remember hearing something about that. I don't know if it was true or not. But, dude, Beyond Good and Evil 2 should just be a movie. I know, right? At this point, just make it a movie. Yeah, be cheaper. See you next Sunday. Gotta grind bounties for Lightfall. There you go. Rhino, enjoy. So that she looked awesome cosplaying Yuri. Hey, nice. Same with Metroid Prime 4. Weird. Dead Space Remake is finished. What, you finished it or it's out? I know it's out. Video game on B-Day nice. Yay. Make it more coffee. Go. Hey, that one's cute. Oh, they did, what was it? GoldenEye. Remember that old 007 game for the N64? It was like a multiplayer shooty shoot. They just put that out. It's like on Xbox, I think Switch and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody wants to get nostalgia and go back and be like, dude, I remember that game. But it's there. It exists. What's up, Kabukas? We're supposed to get a Portal movie, and I'm wondering how that's supposed to work. Dude, it's supposed to be handled by Warner Brothers. I don't think we're ever going to see that. No, like quite literally. Last I heard, it was going to be under Warner Brothers. And I'm like, dude, they can't even get Scooby-Doo right anymore. Good. They could be like, yeah, we're going to do Portal, but instead of a robot, instead of GLaDOS, we're going to make it a small child. And then the main character is going to be like a tiny chipmunk. And they're going to give it a little gun. It's going to be like this kid playing with it in their little gerbil wheel kind of thing. That'll be the big reveal. We're going to Shyamalan this. Oh, God. I never owned an N64 or GameCube. I don't know if I ever missed out or not. Maybe on like the actual Nintendo-specific IPs. You know? Like Luigi's Mansion. Mario. Playing the God of War HD collection on emulator. Nice. My favorite console is the N64. Nice. What's this? Image 4. Let's see the caught up. Dead Space Remake. Got that. Shrugs. Emote. What was my favorite console? I feel like the PlayStation 1 was my favorite console. Aside from the NES. I figure NES was my favorite because it was like my first console. But I like PlayStation 1 because it felt like it was the next step. It was 3D. Wow. Yeah, that kind of thing. Do I want anime? It depends on the anime. It depends on the anime. PS2 is mine. PS2 was awesome, too. SNES was my favorite. Yeah, for me, it was like, because we had an SNES, and it was like, it was, of course, better than Nintendo. It was the step up. But it wasn't like a vast improvement where I was like, 3D everything, you know, that kind of thing. So that was impressed me about PlayStation, even though the games look like trash. I mean, like, retrospectively, like playing Tomb Raider on that was like, ugh. I got a book called League of Regrettable Superheroes. One super is called B-Man, and he worked for the FBI. Oh, okay. Oh, that's terrible. The PS1 startup sound. Still get shivers. PS1 supposedly 3D, just not technically in 3D, and we didn't need some kind of glasses. Well, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. 3 dimensions. Not 3D. Can't wait for Goblin Slayer Season 2. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff getting Season 2. The, what do you call it? It's getting the voice actor. Don't Toy With Me, Miss whatever, Nagamoto, whatever, something. Whatever. That's getting an English dub soon. Plus another season, I think. I was like, what? Why? All right, but there you go. My parents got the first Nintendo console, then my brother took it apart to figure out how it worked. Oh, what are you doing? Velma can't be getting a season 2. How is Velma? Dude, don't double down on that. Warner Brothers. No, the numbers can't be good enough to get a season 2. That's impossible. Is that actually confirmed? Dude, literally, like, yeah. Nagatoro, you like that series?
Glitch Productions has entered the new era of indie animation.
Did it?
Murder Drones Episode 3 is set to be released on February 17th.
That's a thing.
And have announced their new series, The Amazing Digital Circus, in collaboration with
Gooseworks. Dark comedy series, good scare, in the best and funny way possible. Probably. We'll see. It is confirmed. Dude, how's Velma getting a season 2? That doesn't make it. Dude, this isn't Last of Us. Everybody, literally, the internet is like spitting digitally on people's faces who worked on this. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If Velma gets season 2, Wednesday doesn't. No, Wednesday's already getting a season 2. So is Sandman and The Last of Us. So there is hope. But confirmed, and they say Scooby for season 2 has been cast. I don't even care. It probably won't even be a dog. It's probably going to be like a robotic drone that Velma uses to solve crimes. Like, get the hell out of here. I cannot believe something that has that much negativity towards it is getting another season. That can't be real. Raiders of the Lost Ark on Atari was my first game rage quit. Oh, mine was first rage quit game. I think it was Rygar. With that stupid little shield that... Oh, God, I hated that thing. Imagine Velma becoming a good show. I can't imagine that. They would really have to work that, you know? And again, I didn't even see the whole series, but, I mean, my God. The astounding amount of negative reviews towards that show is insane.
Well, in the Scooby-Doo comics, Scooby is a robot, but that was like a cyberpunk futuristic storyline.
Yeah, I'm fine with all little comic book offshoots, but to waste all the resources on a fully animated series, dude, there are real ideas out there that actually need, like, an animated series, not some hackneyed, you know, fanfic version of Velma, okay? It's getting stupid. Thank you. I have a feeling that Velma's second season was already planned before the first finished production. You guys know how long animation takes. Yeah, pretty much. But usually they wait to greenlight something. I can't imagine them going in there with that amount of positivity unless they were living in their own echo chamber. Like, this is so edgy and new. People are going to love it. Yeah, let's greenlight a season 2, regardless of what the fans say, because they're going to love it. We just know it. Then they're looking at the Metascore and they're like, oh, God, we got to do another season of this. We already greenlit it. We already paid people. Yeah. I have a feeling it just, I don't know. It just seems, that's just throwing money into a pit of fire. Honestly, I don't think they care. They're Netflix. What? That's not on Netflix. That's HBO. HBO's been canceling stuff left and right. So thanks for the follow. I can't imagine them just saying, yeah, go ahead. They should just cancel it. Save the money. Put those resources towards the next Last of Us season. Okay. Please. Bum, 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 bum. What takes longer, making a live action episode or a cartoon episode? Just asking. It depends on how much CGI is in a live action. Live action should be easy. I mean, dude, they were doing 30-minute episodes every week of sitcoms. You know, you just throw some people in a room, they're talking, stuff happens, blah, blah, blah. You know, I would say 2 weeks of shooting for like a live action episode. If that. Animation's going to take a lot longer. Well, depending on how many people you got working on it. They can't cancel it. Mindy Kaling won't let them. Are they funding it themselves? Like, because that's at this point, if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be like, you're funding this, right? Like, This is your responsibility. You wanted to do this. I still haven't finished season 1 of The Sandman. I hope they fixed the voice from Matthew to Crow. It's awfully loud. They did not. Dude, that was Patton Oswalt. Dude, the balance of that was my one gripe for that series. Patton Oswalt's Crow voice in The Sandman is so unbalanced.
I bet you Mindy associated herself with Velma as a kid/teen and tried to make a version where she is Velma, but the way humor is today, she tried to make it modern and it's just stupid.
Yeah, dude. Hold on.
Glitch Productions' new series The Amazing Digital Circus will have I Have No Mouth, and I Must Scream vibes. If you know what I mean.
No, we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. It might not. We don't know. Oh. But, yeah, no, here, when you take characters like that are beloved, and you end up trying to modernize them the wrong way, you're just going to end up with garbage people hate. Yeah. Dude, edgy humor only works when the characters are meant to be edgy. You know what I'm saying? Velma's not an edgy character. You can't overhaul a character that much and say, oh, it's Velma. It's not, you know? What? That'd be like, I'm trying to think of an equivalent. It's really difficult. Ugh, it's not going to work. I'll be shocked if it gets to season 3, and I heard rumors that it was supposed to be its own show, but then Warner Brothers had them slap the Scooby-Doo IP on it. It probably, here's the thing. If it was called anything but Velma, it probably would have worked. Because people, the fan base you're supposed to be gravitating and pulling in towards this new series, were expecting Scooby-Doo-esque kind of stuff. You know? So it's like, if they called it, you know, somebody else's name, anyone. Mandy. Sure. Whatever. You do that, it would have been fine. You know, the characters are not associated with, you know, Scooby-Doo. People don't have preconceived character interactions in their head, you know, and you ripping apart the integrity of those characters isn't going to faze anybody because they're not associated with the actual characters people have loved for 60 years. Anyway, whatever. After Velma and everything else, what's your stance on meta humor as of now? It works or it doesn't. The way I look at humor is it's either funny to me or it's not, you know? But I find a lot of stuff that they try to tell me is funny is not funny. But they're like, no, it has to be funny. Well, you just don't get it. No, I get it. I just don't find it funny. Well, then you don't get it. No, I get it. Why aren't you laughing? Because it's not funny to me. I find it kind of lowball humor. You basically... Here's the thing about lowbrow humor, okay? Thanks for the follow. Lowbrow humor, much like a face. The eyebrows can only go so low on a face. You've basically pulled them off the top of the head and made them a goatee, okay? You have goatee eyebrow humor right now. It's terrible. It's awful. It's bottom of the barrel. It's below the bottom of the barrel. It is in the ground below the barrel, and the barrel is on top of it so nobody else can look at it. Because it's that bad, okay? That's how bad it is. Stop taking the eyebrows off your face and making goatees, is what I'm saying. I mean, that's it. That's all I got. Mindy Kaling helped co-produce the show, so yeah, she's not letting it go. Well, good. They can go down with the ship. Like, quite literally. They are going to be losing, they are going to be hemorrhaging money, and then they're going to be like, what did I do? I tried to stand by my convictions. Your convictions are not... Why? It's Scooby-Doo. Make it fun. Make it a mystery. Make it, you know, it doesn't got to be edgy. You don't got to go in there with big mouth humor. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, you know, let's dumb it down for the Twitterverse. Let's be crass and stupid with characters that aren't crass and stupid. Yes. My God. Yo, dude. Okay, Chris Evans Captain America, right? That would be like taking Chris Evans Captain America and then making him like a gangster that swears all the time. America, bro, what up? I'm gonna, you know, we'll cap you in the head. I mean, like, dude, it wouldn't work. People would be upset about that. If you can't process that in your brain, you should not be in a creative field. You can't. You can't. See, even Evie came out of lurking mode and was just like, no! It's like, dude, just doesn't work. The thing is, you can make... There is a thing. You can make those characters the same and put them in grittier circumstances, but you can't change their personality. The interesting part would be watching how those personalities act in a grittier circumstance. Like I keep going back to the Scooby Natural episode for Supernatural, where they did an animated thing. That was done well. The characters retained their personality, but there was like real consequences to what was happening. You know, just, I don't know, man. I don't understand why people would do that, but, you know. Frat boy America. Exactly. Just sitting around drinking all day. The problem is that show makes fun of people for even watching it. They make several jokes at the viewer's expense saying adults don't watch cartoons. It's stupid. Well, why would a kid want to watch that? Do you think a kid is going to find that funny? No. I don't, like, maybe if it's the first thing they've ever seen in their life and it was the first swear word they saw a cartoon do. But dude, it's the internet. You're totally overestimating young viewers' absorption of material out there if you think this is cutting edge. Bro, dude, Twitch streamers are edgier than the Velma series. You're basically, you come off as a try-hard series trying to appeal to everybody and be edgy, and then being like, well, you know, if you don't get my edge, you just don't get me. It's like, dude, come on. It's like that Poochie character in The Simpsons. You know, they try to bring him out to be all edgy and be like, yo, I'm so hip with the kids. Shut the hell up. Velma is now Poochie. What's up?
The issue with the writing is they tried copy Rick and Morty, but they're not smart or talented enough to write that kind of crass meta humor.
No. And dude, I feel like a lot of Rick and Morty was very off the top of the head, you know, kind of thing. And that improv energy is what makes it interesting. You know, trying to script that out, you can tell. You can definitely tell, you know, but probably died in 97. Thought it happened later. Then I was only 9. Yeah. If I was young, I'd have rolled my eyes at Velma. Yeah, if I was young, dude, that's the thing. And the thing is, like, whatever. It's like I can't keep arguing about Velma. It's just let the series die in its unforgettable celluloid digital garbage bin. Wow, Parker! Damn it, Parker! Thank you. Let's see. What if I started mentioning Velma? Yeah, dude, I didn't think it would get a season 2. I would assumed it got canceled. Like, boom, canceled. Yeah. Whatever. Everyone keeps throwing money in the pit, I guess. When you try to appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody. M&M's. Playing a multiplayer game online is edgy. Yeah. You get more crass humor from online multiplayer. I'm still mad at Netflix for canceling Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Yeah, I feel like the production cost was just way too much for them. Yeah. What, you want to hand make 1,000 puppets? Sure, okay. Can't we just CGI in it? No, you're missing the point of the Dark Crystal. Are you talking about the Joker Suicide Squad movie? No. We turned him to a clown prince of crime to the actual Joker crime. No. No, it's good. No, it's terrible. What, Jared Leto's Joker? That was like, dude, wasn't it like that version of the Joker, like the next iteration after the Heath Ledger one, as far as film goes? So, I mean, dude, that's a tall order, you know, to try to capitalize on, you know? So then it was just like, somebody had to fail after Leto. I mean, well, Ledger. And unfortunately, I guess it was Leto, because it was just like, there's no angle you have that's going to work better than that. Yeah. So, so I don't know. I guess he took the, it's not Heath Ledger punch to the head, you know, for the next actor who's going to be like, well, at least it wasn't Leto, you know? So, Sad but true. Bum, 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 bum. What's not a dire thing? I want to cancel, then create it for us to watch the internet. No, yeah. It'll run its course. You know, people will learn from the Velma thing. Bump, bump, bump. No votes in chat. What? Bump, bump, bump. Boom. All right, let me get some more coffee. Season 2. God. Lito's going to be in the new Tron movie. Yeah, people were upset about that. Well, I mean, dude, how many movies has Leto been in that people are like, could you stop? You know? There was Suicide Squad, then there was Morbius, morbing it up. And then it was like people are just kind of burnt out on him. And I don't necessarily know they're like if they're a bad actor or not. I don't really remember a lot of stuff that they were in. Weren't they in an old horror movie called like Urban Legends or something like that? I mean, I think that's kind of all I know them from. Yeah. Ever play classic first-person shooter Blood? I love all the horror movie references in the game. No, I didn't. Now I feel like I should. What's up? Best Joker ever followed by the worst Joker ever. Go figure. Yeah. Dude, you know, and I would say to Leto's credit with his portrayal of the Joker, like, you had to go to an extreme direction, you know, as far away from Heath Ledger's version just to even compete. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the follow. So him doing the crunked out gangsta kind of version of the Joker is like all they could do, honestly. You know, it's like, yeah. Because if you're too close to the previous version, Ledger's version, then you're going to be like, oh, well, they're just trying to do the Ledger thing, you know? So, I don't know, whatever. It's ancient history at this point, so it doesn't really matter. Jared Leto is the vocalist of 30 Seconds to Mars, then decided to try acting. Oh, I didn't really listen to that
Jared
band.
Leto was always May, and the messed up thing is he tried sabotaging the current Joker is just Betty.
Really? What, the Joaquin Phoenix one? Oh, no, that was the thing. I forgot about that because I didn't even think of it as like a Joker movie. Because it was like so artsy. No, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. That was a good take on the Joker. It's very twisted and cerebral. And I kind of like films like that. You know, as opposed to just, you know, him yelling and, you know, doing stupid things. Yeah, but it was more of a tormented version, you know? So I thought that was kind of cool. God, I don't know what they're going to do next. There was, no, because there was a little thing with, in The Batman, Joker stuff. So, I don't know who they're going to get to do the next one, but, I didn't realize it was trying to sabotage. Telling y'all sabotage. There was a reference. Crystal Lake is one level called Crystal Lake. Oh, includes the mask and knife. Nice. Surprised they were able to do that. Go.
Apparently on my computer it's showing you're offline and the end screen, but it says live on the bottom and shows live on followed channels and showing chat still going. I refreshed the page like 2x. It's weird. Damn you.
Wow, that is weird. Thanks, Twitch. You're class act. It's not me. Look at my line there.
At the rate DC is going, I don't think we will have anything left of DC. They need a major management overhaul.
Well, that's why we got James Gunn all up in there, you know? Hey, hopefully they get that Lobo moving going and get things a little bit more cohesive moving forward. And, you know, keep your fingers crossed. We'll get a good 10 years of DC movies. You know, I want them to succeed. And The Batman wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. So that's a step in the right direction, you know? But, you know, I'm just glad we're over it. Like, forget about Black Adam. Even Shazam, I feel like is going to be a decent movie, Shazam 2. But I feel like it's just going to wrap things up for what was. I honestly, that was probably the better of the movies that came out, was Shazam and a couple of Superman movies. But I don't know, man. Hopefully moving forward, because they got to get their crap together. They really do. And I hope James Gunn can do it, because he's had successful movies.
Another thing about DC, they focus a lot on Batman and sometimes Superman. It's like they don't put the effort in other superheroes.
I don't think a lot of other people take their other superheroes terribly seriously. When I think DC, I go Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Lobo. And then me personally, I delve into like Sandman, because that was owned by DC Comics. And I get into the darker stuff, but generally other superheroes, like, and when I say Batman, I'm like going to, the Rogues Gallery as well. Harlequin, Joker, and all that other stuff. Like what? Power Girl? I don't care about it. It's like, what am I going to do with that? I think it's only still running because she's huge. Yeah. But, I mean, Green Lantern I never got into. I don't know how many people are into Green Lantern. Oh, yeah, Matt RX. Keeping Ezra Miller is a baffling decision. Steve mentioned that yesterday. It's like, all right, Justin Roiland is out from Solar Opposites, High on Life, and Rick and Morty. Ezra Miller, who I feel like was actually... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Ezra Miller was actually found guilty of one of the crimes, right? During a court thing. But they got like probation for a year. Huh? Like they're still, and there's other things still pending, I believe. But they're still like working? Like they're still on the payroll? How does this even work? Like, it boggles my mind. And I don't know, like, honestly, I don't know as far as legalities go, is one more severe than the other? Like, one crime more severe than the other? Like, on paper, like, is one a federal thing and the other one's just a civil thing? I mean, I don't know. Green Lantern could be great if they did Jon Stewart. You keep mentioning Jon Stewart. I keep thinking of Jon Stewart, the comedian. No love for Justice League. No, like, none. Justice League, to me, is just basically Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and then the other ones. I don't even remember what the other ones in there. Aquaman doesn't even count for me. I know in the comics he's super important, but Aquaman is just... He's Waterboy to me. Go.
But see, with Marvel it's like a universe of superheroes of non-ending stories that actually buries DC's superhero potential, and we never hear anything about Martian Man or any of the villains in Earth 1,
Yeah, I mean, oh, God. The problem is, all right, Marvel had a head start as far as movies go, their cinematic thing. DC tried to catch up real fast by just smushing everything together real quick. And they should have just done what they did best, which was a couple of standalone movies that were really good. But they tried to tie it into this big, huge thing, Justice League and everything, which ended up falling flat, and even the Snyderverse version isn't kind of worth the time. And it's just like they need to just focus on good stories and bringing things out that are fun.
I think they literally cannot afford to replace him for that movie due to how much the retakes are costing them as it is.
Well, I mean, that's okay. That person still gets to be employed, doesn't go to jail, and is still going to get residuals, monies, royalties, and all this other stuff from these films merely because, Warner Brothers is pot committed. We already got so much money in it, dude. I can't fold my hand. What? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess, but, just deep fake another actor on top of their head. Just whatever. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, I would like a Clayface movie. That would be good. Yeah, Batman movie, Clayface. I think, here's the thing, and I hope James Gunn has got this rattling in the back of their head. If DC just focused on Batman villains, they would have an excellent series of movies, Because God, I don't know what it is about Batman that most of the villains in that have such awesome backstories. you know? And it's just none of the other ones do. None of the other DC series do. At least as far as I know. I'm sure there's ones out there people are like, but, you know.
What about Alex Baldwin? Took about 2 years for him to be charged for murder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, they were doing a lot of investigation to see if it was an actual thing. That dude played the Shadow back in, what, 90-something? The Shadow knows. Also used guns, but nobody got killed back then. Ah, God. Thank you. Batman allows for more messed up origins. I guess because it's so dark and brooding, you know? Superman was always kind of squeaky clean, so it's like, you know, his biggest villain was the rich guy across a couple of buildings who just didn't like Superman. You know, it's like, as long as you don't get a Ra's al Ghul-centric movie, then yeah, a series focused on villains could work. Even a Ra's al Ghul in the Christian Bale movies were all right. You know? That was an okay villain. Bane was kind of goofy, and Catman I just did not like in those films. Catwoman? Yeah. Catwoman in the last Batman was a little bit better. But underwhelming. Jeff Bezos, I think was his name. What? From out of nowhere. Where? Oh, okay. I see what we did. It's Lex Luthor. I prefer Marvel because of humanity and still in characters. Yeah, the same here. But some might say Batman was more simple up until The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, I guess. That's kind of where I started, honestly.
Theory: what if Batman was actually in a mental hospital? The villains represent his inner demons from seeing his parents killed, and the Batman is himself trying to fight them so he can actually return to being sane.
Yeah, wasn't that a thing? Fan theory. Go.
Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. Therese, no way.
I don't think Jeff Bezos is anything but super rich and just chilling right now. Like, quite literally, he's not even part of Amazon anymore. Like, I think he stepped down when he went to space. He's like, I'm leaving the planet later, bro. No, he had to beat Elon, right? I don't know. I got that. I hated that Roscoe Scarecrow. Scarecrow was actually, I really liked Scarecrow in that version. Dude, he was like a little maniacal. Like Scarecrow was like the winning character for that the Christian Bale trilogy. And I'm just like, dude, I want to see more of him. You know? I mean, yeah, we got the version in the Batman Arkham City. And that was fun, but you know. I feel like Batman animated cartoon really made Batman cool for me, especially with Batman Beyond. Nice.
He went to space to find the Kryptonians and Superman and Kryptonite.
Got a pocket full of kryptonite. Bezos is going to make a deal with General Zod. Let's remember to go.
I actually want Static Shock to have more of a chance. It's an interesting premise and has more ability like Batman to have characters and villains that aren't just one note.
There was rumors that they were going to work on a Static Shock movie. And I'm just like, I'm wondering if that's ever going to happen, but with all the shakeups happening over at DC, I'm wondering where that is in the roster of development. Yeah. It would be cool. Dude, I would watch that because, it'd be different. Yeah. Also remember Foamy described Batman as uber-rich guy who beats up people with mental health issues and those so poverty-stricken that they have to turn to a life of crime to survive. True. Well, maybe. That was always, and we've discussed it too, that if Bruce Wayne dispersed their billions and actually did some infrastructure improvement and actually humanities efforts in Gotham, there would probably be less crime, and then he'd be out of a job. But, he's got to do something, Gets bored at night. I still want a DC movie where Clayface is the main protagonist. I talked about that. This is the second time. What? No, they say something in chat, and then I say it, and then I was like, oh, I didn't hear you. Let's see. Go. And Richard Branson, yeah.
Imagine Bezos coming back in Kryptonian spaceship with Zod, and instead of saying I come in peace kneel before Zod or you be pieces brought to you by Amazon as they shill something on Audible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll give you a dictatorship in 3 days less, or in 3 days with Prime shipping. Dude, I don't know. I'm tired. Multiple screens. I know you'll get distracted. You got to focus. Focus. Boom. Screens. I know. Multiple screams sounds better. Sorry, there were multiple screams. I got distracted. You just imagine sitting in a room, everyone going, ah, ah, ah.
I do prefer Peacemaker's logic on dealing with villains.
I mean, Peacemaker's kind of like a fun, weird character, I guess. It's like the schmucky Captain America that's just like, you know what? I'm going to kill everything for peace. Yeah, prime shipping. 5 days at least in a lot of cases. What? I usually get stuff in two to three. Yeah. It would still be rich though. Bum, 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 All right, let's check out the coffee. Oh, that sucks. All right. I guess I'm going to have water like an idiot. That's all right. That's all right. The water's okay. Yeah. Peacemaker's just a goofy Punisher clone. Well, you know. Oh, yeah, this can go now. Well, you know, Punisher can't be Punisher now because, you know, they got to gut the character because people IRL decided to, I don't know, co-op certain logos and mentalities. And now it's like, I can't believe we live in a society where we got to change fictional characters because the ones in real life just can't get a grasp on reality. It's amazing to me. There are some items that I still get in 2 to 3 days, but a lot of others take like a week or so to get to me. Weird. Weird. It's a conspiracy. I enjoyed Peacemaker. I hope they make another season of it. Well, not if they keep pushing money towards Velma for some godforsaken reason. Forget about Peacemaker Season 2. We need another Velma. Zoinks. It's doing so well. Go.
Ooh, yeah, that reminds me, certain superheroes now are going to be banned because you know something too violent. Think of the children, blah blah, red tape.
Yeah. There you go. Meh. Think of the children. Wouldn't it be funny if just a maniacal developer was like, we are. Sinister laughter. I don't like that response. No, don't worry. We're thinking of the children. Go.
Irony Avenue. Now, here's a fine howdy-do. Allegedly, there's no whiskey in shot-sized bottles of Fireball whiskey.
Wait, what?
Now the company is being sued. Wait, what? There's no whiskey in What
do you mean there's no whiskey in a whiskey? How come there's no whiskey in whiskey? That can't be real. Carbon Fox, hi, what's up? There's no whiskey in whiskey? Why would they do that? Yo! No, Fireball whiskey. There's no whiskey in there. No whiskey in a jarro.
You made me think of the baby boss or DA actor on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Dude, that was a fun thing, actually. Bum bum bum. Thank you. Isn't that what ratings are for? So it's a PG-13 movie. It's not meant for kids under 13. Yeah.
Sounds like a whiskey move.
Oh, God. There might also not be olive oil in your olive oil. Well, you got to get cold press. What? You got to get cold press. Damn it. I've heard that, yes, and they're being sued because there is no liquor in the whiskey, I guess. That doesn't even make any sense. How would they even... Good, sue them. My God. That's like ordering coffee at Starbucks and just getting a big cup of milk. Like, bro, come on. I'm going to go binge watch The Sandman on Netflix before season 2. Catch it out on YouTube later. We're going to be wrapping up soon anyway, so you're probably not going to miss anything. Enjoy. The rating system is broken. No, the parents are broken. That's the problem. The rating system is fine. It's just nobody looks at the letters. It's a singular... I've said this so many times. It hurts my brain. It is one letter. All you have to do is look at the letter. All you have to do is M. What do you think M stands for? Miniature person? Oh, then it must be okay for children. They're miniature people. No, that's not how that works. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I know. There's the Deadpool thing. Oh, well, we took all our children to it. It says rated R. What do you think the R stands for? Ridiculous humor? No. Restricted. Yeah. Looking at letters is too hard. Apparently. I mean, and I really, there's got to be, there's like, how many websites are out there to assist parents in ratings? There's like commonsense.org and all these things that you can look up books to make sure that it takes 2 seconds. You're always on your phone anyway. Just do it. Take like 5 seconds and look it up. You know, there's a wiki page on everything on the planet. Any movie you can possibly think of in the state of the universe has got a page on it. You know, it's not like back in the day where it's like, I'm not sure if this book is okay for my kid. I guess I should read it first. We're not even asking for that kind of investment. You know, just look it up. A little common sense. Remember, there you go. Oh, okay, this might not be suitable for blah, 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 around a PG rating. Okay, there you go. Maybe next time, Billy. You know, my God. Yeah, what is E? Excruciatingly painful to play. You know, no, I mean, dude, it's for everyone. E is for everyone. My God. And I mean, why? Oh, God. Again, I can't understand why companies don't say, look, here's the thing. We have boiled down the ratings of everything to singular letters. And in some cases, letters and numbers. I'm sorry if that's super confusing. But we tried our best to make it as understandable and fluid as possible. You know, it's like red light, green light, you know, that kind of thing. That's how simple we've made this. So if you mess up and you take your kid to see Deadpool or go allow them to play Dead Space or something like that, that's on you. That's on you. We have put all the guidelines and information, and everybody's got a phone or access to one that can look up whatever information you can possibly want. Okay? Everything is available to you to make an educated parental decision for your child. Why is this so difficult? We boiled down parenting to a series of letters and numbers, and you still can't do that. How dare you have a child? I mean, flat out, that's what it comes down to. If you can't even take the time, how are you even a parent at that point? You know, dude, flat out, dude, there's been things that your parents are like, yeah, you probably shouldn't watch that, you know, and they knew. You know, and that was like before like TV had, you know, ratings in the corner all the time. They knew what was good for us and what wasn't at the time because they had common sense. Yeah. You know? And I find it hard that. Go.
At Jim Others back when I worked at GameStop, I got screamed at by parents when I warned them about the M rating on games, like Grand Theft Auto, they were buying for their 9-year-olds.
And it's like, what do? You explain to them, okay, so you're comfortable with your 9-year-old doing this to essentially streetwalkers in this game. You're okay with that, you know? Wait, what? Yeah, well, yeah, dude, M, mature. M doesn't stand for mom has to buy it. No, that's not what it means. God, get out my store, you know? I mean, it boggles my mind that, you know, Child Protective Services isn't called more often. You know, it's like, wow. And meanwhile, these are the same parents that are in everybody else's parenting biz, you know, just because they're like, dude, no, you shouldn't talk to your child like that. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm parenting another parent. You go play GTA, you know, what? Come on, dude. God, letters and numbers confuse parents, yet they somehow manage to procreate. And, you know, doesn't make any sense. No, I find it really annoying when parents try to parent other parents. You know what you should do? Punch you in the face for getting in my biz? Because that's what I feel like I should do. My little cousin beating and was funny after playing GTA. Really? Come on. Bump, bump. The red box vending machine. What? Stupidity, bro. Plain and simple. Yeah, but that shouldn't be the case. Like, and... I mean, I can go on for forever with this, but essentially it boils down. Common sense isn't common, so we shouldn't be pandering to people without it. You know, that's the thing. We shouldn't have to ban everything and mute everything and silence everything and blur everything out and mosaic everything for people who are just too stupid to read a letter. You know, I'm just like, let's move on. You know, it's the rest of society, and this goes back to the, you know, the anchor. Society is that little boat, right? That could be floating on, moving forward down the stream of progress. But then you got this large anchor of stupid just keeping people. Oh, we almost made it to a brighter future. All right, you think we can kind of move along? Come on, work with me here. All right. But okay, I guess we can't learn about science anymore. Oh, geez. All right, no, I guess no, can't. Maybe if we go this way, maybe it'll. No, okay. Let's see. Where can we go? I guess maybe we can go backwards a little bit.
Do parents ever have a good time? Kappa.
I don't know. But I feel like we can only move a incremental, you know, things forward. It's just like boop, no, and then all we do collectively is have to move back because people can't keep up, and then we're just anchored in place because everyone's so emotionally, I don't know, something or other that they just can't move forward. They're just like, I can't be exposed to that. Well, all right. No, but there's this really cool science thing that if you just listen to it, it'll make society better. No. So then you're swimming around in the same gene pool that never deviates towards other rivers. You know, we're intellectually just inbreeding, being dumb. You know, floating around like a rubber duck that has no mind. Wah. Wah. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Wah. It's stupid. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we should be cutting the chain and let the dead weight sink. You know, it's getting tedious. We could be a lot more advanced and civilized if people could accept that. That's the thing. Humanity is its own worst hurdle. You know. Need baby pumpkin guys running around. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Pretty simple. Well, unless you're a masochist. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. God. I'm going to get some water. Yeah. But I'm putting up coffee. Go. Hey, William Dafoe's going to be in a Nosferatu movie directed by the person that did Lighthouse. That should be good. Yeah. Well, we need more vampire movies. Think masochists play Dark Souls on the hardest setting. Yeah, pretty much. Dude, Elden Ring, hardest settings. Yeah. I don't know. Anybody else got anything to say? Because we're going to wrap this up. Wrapping it up. Gonna do stuff. Gotta eat some food. I gotta shave. Start feeling a peach fuzz. Yeah. Means derp. Derp. That bump, bump, bump. Jimmy versus Timmy. You got a lot of nonsense going on now. What's going on? This was happening in Dawn's channel. You're just doing weird things. Mr. Maze is streaming. Mr. Maze. Oh. We could, really? For reals? For reals. I did not know that. So we're streaming too. There you go. Nice. Dude, Mr. Maze, are they going to be on for a while? Because we haven't rated them in forever. Casper. What about Casper? They're supposed to make a Casper series. That just never came to fruition, I guess.
New Year, more streaming.
Hey. Hay is for horses, grass is for cows. What? No, it's not. There you go. I know. Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
It wasn't an abduction. The aliens did a rescue.
Yeah, I think so. Again, did we have enough Casper movies in the 90s? I don't know. People would say the same about the Addams Family, but they keep making that stuff. For better or worse. Where's my outro music? Oh. Hey. There you go.
Thanks for the stream, PG.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great week and see you Wednesday.
try.
Jim Love.
Yeah. Thank you. We're gonna see who's up, but Mr. Maze, if they're streaming, I think we should raid them because we haven't raided them in like forevers. There you go. Everybody new that was here, thank you for being here. What Union, etc. What's up? How's it going? And people are streaming, so if you're streaming, just type in me. If you're streaming right now. What? Me. We'll see what's going on. But I gotta wrap this up. I don't know, do something fun. Don't stress about the world. Try to be optimistic about something. And if not, eat candy. That always helps. Go!
This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang.